without getting drenched. Get your Carhartt Rain Defender sweatshirts at all 3 of our Edmonton job site workwear locations.
A Saskatchewan boy who grew up loving and playing sports. At least we think he grew up. Listen to Kevin Karius weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440.
Sports 1440. Stingray radio station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Third power play for Tampa Bay. With Bruce getting comfortable. Here's Radish. Radish ties at a power play goal. It's third point of the game. Goal number 20 on the season for Radish.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Thompson will play it along the wing. Snuggerud jammed it down into the corner. Thomas deflected it up to the line. Broberg over to Mayu to Snuggerud. He scored!
A one-timer from the near dot. 1-0 St. Louis in the 16th of the year for Snuggerud.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Before the battle eventually won by Edmonton, slapped up ice by Bouchard, and now Savoy's on the block. Shoots, and that might have clipped the outside of the goalpost. Here's Bouchard showing slapper. Savoy rich and score. Short-handed goal, and Edmonton takes its first lead of the night, 2-1. Savoy's 12th.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 632, Wednesday, March the 25th. Man, when will old man Winter let go of this grip that he's got on the City of Champions? It just sucks out there overnight, and then snow all day yesterday. Not all day, but in the afternoon, all through the night, and snowing a little bit more this morning. Everybody, I think, is just sick and tired of it. But hey, we'll get through it. We always do we not? Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial and your morning drive. Heading into work, again, be careful if there's some spots out there, a little bit of snow and things like that. Everyone, I think, was hoping that we were through winter, but we got a few more days for sure. You can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like and a subscription. We would appreciate that. Also on X, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitch. As always, we're streaming on the many services that are out there on the iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even on sports1440.ca. And if you miss any part of any show, you can find it where all the old podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe. It is free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Hearty good morning to you on a Wednesday, where the Oilers come away with a big win last night in Utah, 5-2 over the Mammoth, where it was a suffocating defensive performance, not just in the defensive zone, but in the neutral zone. And really, they carried the play from puck drop all the way through and locked it down in the third. And isn't that the way it goes? When you invest, when you engage in your defensive awareness, your capabilities, your abilities, everything that you want to do offensively, if you put everything into that, your mindset, your will, willing to pay the price, your battle level, your commitment, again, your awareness with the opposition, where players are on the ice, you come out with a solid performance, and that's what happened. And it's the buy-in, it's the will. When you are willing to block shots like they had, 24 in total. They had 9 block shots the Oilers did in the first period. When you're willing to lay it on the line, good things happen, and that's what happened last night for the Oilers, where they were physical, just recorded 19 hits according to the game sheet. I thought that number could have been a little bit higher. I'm sure a lot of our listeners maybe thought so too, but all of it comes together when you put it all together. you come up with a solid performance, a great team concept, a buy-in, and again, it's that will. When you want to put all those things together defensively, and we've been saying this for a long time, until the Oilers buy in defensively, especially in the top six, until they buy in that way, when they perform at a level that they can. We've seen the game. We've seen it for spurts, but we haven't seen it for more than a week, have we? Because they haven't won more than 3 in a row here. So we know the game is there. It's just a matter of implementing it. It was a milestone night, too, for a couple of players, most notably Connor McDavid. So he picks up goal number 400 and then 401 on the empty net. And with those 2 points as well, he gets to 1,200 points. So 400 goal mark, 1,200 point mark, third fastest in NHL history in games played behind Mario and Wayne Gretzky. So that was, in the sense where you knew it was going to happen, but it was always nice to see it happen. And, Connor's comments after, just talking about being around 11 years, man, it's been 11 years and the guy's been unbelievable. It's been a joy to watch. It's been a pleasure to watch. We've been lucky. It's been great. And then Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had the assist on the 1-1 goal by Jack Roslovic, who had 2 goals as well and was really good last night. And 800 career points for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Man, that second period was wild, was it not? 3 goals in 43 seconds. I want to go back to that first goal. And man, Ty Emerson made a pass out of his own end that, you had to look quick because maybe a lot of people thought it might have been Evan Bouchard making that first pass, because Bouchard makes a lot of those quick passes that are, you're going on, up the wall. But if there's a guy that's open and you have that recognition and be able to see that he's got time and space when he receives the pass and you're not giving him a grenade, beautiful pass by Emerson. And that was the main reason that first goal went into action, went into play, because it was a great pass. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins up the ice to Jake Wallman, who had a great rush. That looked like the Jake Wallman of last year, did it not? Confident, handling the puck, carrying the puck, making a play. Beautiful pass to Jack Roslovic, and then the goal, which would be, blocker side on Karel Vejmelka. I always wonder if you're on your off wing like that as a right-handed shot and you've got a right-handed catching goaltender and you're picking that far corner, which is blocker side. I always wonder if it's a catching goalie with his left hand, does he make the save because the setup's different and everything like that? But a beautiful shot by Roslovic, and he ended up with his first of the night. He added 1 more, so he's knocking on the door for 20. He's got 19 on the year, and that was a good way to negate that, incredibly lucky first goal when it goes off of Nurse and Murphy, and Alex Kerfoot gets credit for that goal to start things off. But that was a good way to negate that. And then again, in that second period, man, the goals, the shorthanded goal by Matt Savoy, great play to first put the puck on net and then follow it up. And you could see him, because the Oilers have done this a lot shorthanded, have they not lately? If they've got the puck with controls, maybe in the offensive zone, they'll look back and try to, burn some clock. And you could see Savoy going, maybe throw it down back into the neutral zone. But then great awareness by Bouchard to come up as the trailer, and for him to make that pass, and then Bouchard just to recognize that Savoy was right in the slot to make a good play. And the other thing, too, is after that pass, Bouchard made a quick exit, quick turn. The puck was in the net quickly, but I think he was recognizing, I got to get back here, because now he's going to have a shot on net. Who knows where it's going? I got to get back because we're shorthanded. Lawson Krause ties it 2-2 right after that. And then Connor McDavid with his 400th, 8 seconds after the Krause goal, his 39th of the year. So 3 goals in 43 seconds, especially after the first period. Everyone thought, this is going to be the way the game was unfolding. Everyone was thinking this is a 2-1, 3-2 game, because there was there was no room. The Oilers gave up nothing. They had the blocks. They were in the lanes. They were using their sticks. Utah wasn't initiating a whole hell of a lot because the Oilers were snuffing it out, and then the Oilers were taking what Utah was giving them. And then the big goal really was the Jack Roslovic goal. That was a goal where the Oilers went, okay, we've got a little breathing room going into the third. Great, amazing pass by Bouchard all the way up the ice to Zach Hyman off the crossbar, and then really a very questionable goal by Vejmelka, and he got the hook after 40 minutes because of two goals that were questionable, to be honest. And Vitek Vanacek came in, after the pull of Vejmelka after 40 minutes. Hey, let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne, 7-Eleven in Edmonton. Text line's open too, 833-401-1440. They are humming in already. The Duke, even your Ducks won last night, Duke. So it was
you say that as if they don't win very often, which I'm just checking the standings here. Oh, that's right. They remain in first place. So I think they've won plenty, but it was a little bit of a fright. Yeah, the mighty Pacific came up just shy of our line we set yesterday, despite your optimism on it. Yeah. Top to bottom, 7 or 8 points, and pretty good job by me setting the line at 8.5. I suppose, right? Very sharp.
8.5. So
very sharp.
And it could have been. I thought that game was going to get to overtime when it was 3-3. The Ducks and Canucks. I thought, okay, there's a good chance here. It was 14 minutes left, and then Ducks scored with 7 or 8 or something like that left in the game.
Something around there. Anyway, I was watching the third period. As I was also watching the third period of the Oilers game, because I started the Oilers game late when I got home from hockey, so I was kind of doing it simultaneously. And the third period of the Ducks game had a little more excitement in it than the third period of the Oilers game. I'll say that much.
Yeah. So we had, in case you missed it, yesterday's show, Duke had, with all the Pacific Division teams playing and how poorly they've been playing lately and not getting any points. And of course, the Eastern media all over them on the weekend saying, 1 point out of 6 games, etc., and things like that. And anyway, Duke set the line with all the Pacific Division teams in play at 8.5 points. And I said over, and it was 8. I thought I could sneak one more overtime point in there. The Kraken got one, and I thought maybe just one more somehow if San Jose could sneak a point out in Nashville. But not to be. In Nashville, right now, the hottest team in the league pretty well in the West. They won their 5th straight over the Sharks last night, 6-3, the final. As Duke mentioned, the Ducks now continue to win. The bulge continues to be at 5 points over the Oilers atop the Pacific Division with the game in hand. Vegas, the Golden Knights can't be struggling more. I think, 4-10 in their last 14? Something like that. The Oilers move a point ahead of Vegas. Big game tomorrow. Massive game tomorrow in the desert. The Oilers with 79 points. Vegas with 78. The Golden Knights in their last 10 are 3-7. Their goal differential has eviscerated to where it's at level at 0 right now. It just is not a good scene right now in Vegas, especially with the goaltending. Aiden Hill can't stop a beach ball, and the Golden Knights are there. They are there they're ripe for the picking on tomorrow night, and that sets up Saturday's game. And if the Oilers have any inkling of a first place and a division win for the first time in damn near 40 years, they got to win that game. Well, they got to win tomorrow, and then they got to win that game at home against Anaheim Saturday afternoon. And they got to win that game in regulation. You look at the East and what happened last night. I'm not sure if Rick Bowness is going to get any Coach of the Year votes. I think he should win it, to be honest with you. At Christmas time, the Columbus Blue Jackets were last in the East. And Rick Bowness has come in, and since then, the Columbus Blue Jackets have been dynamite, JJ. 18-2-4 under Bowness. They win last night over Philadelphia. They move into second spot in the Metropolitan Division, 1 point ahead of the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is an amazing story. It is from, again, last at Christmas time to where they are right now. How they're doing. I mean, Zach Werenski is the Norris Trophy winner. at another big goal last night. He's playing at another level. He's been superb on the blue line. They're getting balanced scoring, and they're getting great goaltending. It's a recipe for some success in the playoffs. They could have home ice in the first round of the playoffs. And at Christmas time, they were in last place. The other big story in the East is Ottawa, and 2 big wins for Ottawa. They're hot now, 4 wins in a row. They move into a wild card spot. They've got 85 points. The Islanders are at 85. The Red Wings lost, so 84. So it is so tight when you look at that. And again, Ottawa, big story. Columbus, big story. But the win over the Red Wings last night by the Sens, 3-2, massive 4-point game. Hey, we got a jam-packed show for you. And again, text 833-401-1440. Get them in, we'll get them on. Coming up right after the break, can you believe it? One of the top alumni players in town, Sean Brown, the former Edmonton Oiler. He'll be with us right after the break. This guy can still bring it. The wheels, the hands, the guts. He goes into all the hard places at alumni skates. One of the true best players out there for sure. Mark Spectre will be with us at 8 o'clock. He is, I guess, getting on a plane to Vegas at some point today. We'll bust down the NBA with 3 weeks and a little bit to go in the NBA's regular season with Steve Ashenber from NBA.com and Sports Illustrated, a great writer. David Schlimco will slide in at 9 bells, our co-host on Wednesdays for Cougar Paint and Collision. And Matt Larkin will chime in at 9:20 from the Daily Faceoff. And we got Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, covers the Ottawa Senators. Again, Sens on a roll. They're in a playoff spot right now. A lot of work to do here yet to go with about a dozen games for some teams in the NHL. When we come back, Sean Brown, the former NHLer, on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming as well on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top-quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 7:20 in Edmonton. So glad you're with us on a Wednesday morning. A little snow falling in the City of Champions, and everyone is just tired of it. We had some texts in. We'll get to those as well. Yeah, people are tired of it as well. Time for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. At Fountain Tire, we focus on one thing, and it is your vehicle. From tires to wheels to oil changes, even vehicle repairs, we got you covered. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today as we welcome in the former Oiler NHLer Sean Brown to the show. Good morning, Brownie. Thanks for jumping on the big program this morning. Really appreciate it, big fella.
Good morning, Kev. Yeah, just sitting here on the couch having a coffee, watching the snow come down, and I got a snow shovel that's on its last leg, so I don't have too many shovels left in it. Hopefully this is over.
Did you go out for your coffee this morning? Remember last time we talked and something was going on with your coffee maker?
Yeah, no, I've kind of switched up the routine a little bit here. I'm starting to have a coffee with my wife in the morning. She reads, and I kind of scroll on my phone, and it's a good way to start the day.
The communication is there, right there. So let's talk, right? Let's talk. You're on your phone, and she's on reading the paper or whatever.
She doesn't mind it, though. She's got a couple books. She likes to start her day reading.
Of course she doesn't mind it. She doesn't have to talk to you.
True, very true.
Oh, man. Hey, what'd you think of the game last night, big guy?
Yeah, it was, I mean, they need to get these wins. They need to start to put a few together. So, I mean, in any win, there's always something that you can build off as a team and individually. So, I thought it was good for Jari. He hasn't obviously played in a while. And, you know, that first goal, you're kind of like, oh, boy, could it be one of those nights? I'm sure it's not easy for him right now. And he battled through it. And I thought he looked good. He kind of settled down and made some big saves. And I think for the Oilers to have some success this year during the season and obviously into the playoffs, he's going to be a big part of it. So that was good to see. And it was nice to see Wallman play. You know, he played well. He got a point early. You know, I think, you know, Wallman's game and his ability to make some plays. And I think the one area that the Oilers need to work on is getting some cleaner exits, and he can help with that. So hopefully there's some parts of everyone's game in the win that they can build some confidence off and kind of get things rolling here.
I wanted
especially
to say
after all the controversy. I mean, who didn't want to tune into that game, right? With everything that's been said, I was kind of excited to watch that game myself just to see the response.
I wanted to save Jari for you, Brownie. I didn't touch on him too much in the opener, but I wanted to kind of discuss how you thought he played last night. And, you know, his last best start really is in January of, you know, against, I guess it was Anaheim. It's almost 2 months when he's got a quality start. Maybe just touch on how difficult that is. You know, I'm not saying you can get into a goalie's head, but you're pretty damn close with all the games you played in front of goalies. So how difficult would that be for a guy that has been still trying to find his way here?
Yeah, it's hard, and especially when you get traded to a new team and you want to get off to a good start, right? He's pretty much a local kid, played his junior hockey here, lives in the Fort, I think, still. You know, so yeah, I've been traded before a few times, right? And you want to play well just because it's a new team, new environment. You know, you want to get those relationships and get comfortable with your game, and just hasn't quite worked out. You know, for him, the team hasn't been playing great in front of him, and it makes it hard, especially, you know, in a Canadian city where there's a lot of expectations on the Edmonton Oilers, to get to the Stanley Cup, and goaltending's always kind of been a hot spot here. And when we made that trade, it just put more of a bullseye on it. So it's not easy. This game is, anyone that's played it, it's such a mental game. When you have confidence and you're feeling good, I'm sure the puck feels like a beach ball, right? And at times, as a goalie, it probably feels like a BB to him at times. And you can see it in the game yesterday, like when, he's a proven NHL goalie that's, had, some success in the NHL, and, he's grinded through his career, and, that was a perfect game. For him, you could see that he was just, he didn't break, he didn't crack. You can hear in his media interviews now, he's pretty calm, and, this is part about being a pro and a veteran. And it's amazing to me how, things aren't exactly great for him and maybe for some other guys, but with some confidence and a win that they got last night, things can change, right? And, you get a bunch of guys feeling good about their game. All of a sudden, a team that looks fragile can really turn it around. And, the Oilers have done that before. They kind of have a habit of not making things easy for themselves. So, we've seen them look not so great, and then we've seen them turn it around with a little bit of confidence. So hopefully that's something they can build off of.
Yeah. Sean Brown with us on Sports 1440. As a player, Brownie, and you mentioned it, that first goal off Nurse, off Murphy and in, can't get a luckier goal. So as a player, what do you rely on? What do you go back? Is it your mental training? What do you go back to go, okay, that's the luckiest goal that possibly can go past me. So I got to reset, regroup here, and make sure that the next one doesn't get past me.
Yeah, I think just like you said, you're constantly resetting. I mean, these guys have played hockey so long that they've had a lot of experience to draw from, right? He's obviously had a lot of time here. He's sat out 5 games, so he's had a lot of time to kind of watch some video and sit with his goalie coach. And as a player, when you're out in the press box or you're not playing, you're working on your game. And I think, for me, when I think back of the times that I was struggling, it's just kind of, you go back to the basics, right? You go back to the basics. You don't overthink the game. You get back to your routine. I think your routine, your preparation is obviously very important. How you think between the ears and the thoughts that you let in is obviously very important. So that's, it's not easy. It's not easy. And I think it's something through your career as you're playing, you're always taking, little bits of success and failure and adding it to your routine and your preparation. And it becomes, so important, what you do off the ice and how you handle yourself and, what you're eating and what you're doing. And you look for small victories. That was the one thing that I did was, obviously I wasn't, a huge point guy or anything like that, but you're just, as a goalie, you're probably looking, for small saves, whether it's in your practice or your, in a warm up or, your first save in the game, or as a player, it's just, your first pass, anything that you can build off. And it's not something big. It's actually something really small. And then you just kind of get the snowball effect going.
Sean Brown with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Hey, that first goal, what'd you think of that Ty Emberson pass out of the corner to start the play?
Oh, that was, that's those play. I can't remember if he was on his backhand or forehand, but, anytime, that's the hardest play in hockey, right? Is coming up the middle of the ice. So, it was, that takes a lot of confidence, and I think as I was watching the game, I think the play before that, he made a play up the middle and he might have coughed it up and created a little bit of turnover. So the fact that he, kept the belief and kept his confidence and made that play, that's how you get out of your zone and that's how you get out clean. It's the hardest play to make. You're really counting on guys to, be predictable in the routes. And so you can make those plays. And you can see the result that you get when the Oilers come out of their zone clean. They're effective, right? They're effective in the neutral zone. They're effective off the rush. That's lots of guys want to, the easy way is to kind of go up the wall, but it doesn't put a lot of pressure, obviously, on your wingers and stuff. So, yeah, good for him. I think I like Emberson, right?
Yeah.
I think he's got good puck skills. He's physical. So it's nice to see him make those plays. And that's, the Oilers have a lot of skilled forwards, right? And the less time they're playing in the defensive zone and the cleaner breakouts, obviously they're not burning the candle at both ends, and they got more energy for offense.
Yeah, I think 14 blocks by the defense, Brownie, last night. Maybe just your thoughts on that buy-in. And it's when you have that commitment, and it's been there for this team. We just haven't seen it for long stretches. We see it for a game, or we might see it for a period, but we haven't seen it for a week. So it's that buy-in, it's that commitment. And if you can keep it going, that's what it's all about here.
Yeah, and that's nice. Obviously, as a player, you kind of know where everyone's at, as individually in their game. And I'm sure, guys, it's a big deal to get Jarry back in that as a teammate. You want to do well for him. You know that he's kind of struggling, right? So you definitely have that in the back of your mind that you want to play tight, solid defensive hockey, and you're probably going to want to be in shooting lanes and eat pucks to help them out. And everyone's in it together, and there's no better feeling when you're mucking and grinding, and they're not out of the weeds by any means, but when you get those ugly wins where you're blocking shots and you're in scrums and fighting for each other. You can do all the team bonding you want, but when you're doing stuff like that, it goes a long way, and it's appreciated, and everyone sees it. And you can see Waldman took one up high there, and Jarry gives them a little bit of a tap. Like, it truly is a team game, right? And you feed off of that as a team. So that's what the good teams do, right? The teams that win, block shots and do all those little things for each other. We've seen Florida, right? We've seen Tampa Bay. We see like the good teams. That's and the Oilers want to be that team. Those are the things you got to do. But I think you said it best. Like, it's the consistency, right? It's shift after shift, period after period, game after game. We've seen glimpses of it, and as a team and as a coach, like you're always trying to find things that you can build off. Some building blocks, and all those things that they did yesterday are things that they can build off of, and they got to bring it forward to the next game, or it's a waste, right?
Yeah.
There's no wasting time coming down the stretch here.
Yeah, there's been so many, a step forward, a step back, a step forward, a step back. We haven't had too many times where there's 2 steps forward or even 3 steps forward. It just hasn't happened with this team so far this year. Sean Brown with us here on Sports 1440. What do you make of Jack Roslovic this year? So, he's got 19 goals, 22 is his career high. He's got a chance to get there. He sees virtually no power play time, but it seems when he's on the ice, he compliments whoever he's playing with, if that makes some sense.
Yeah, it's funny. He just quietly goes about his business, right? He's been a pleasant surprise. He obviously gets around the ice really well. He's a smaller guy. He's not scared to go in any area of the ice. He's just got that natural ability to score and shoots the puck and seems to be able to find the back of the net, and seems like a very low maintenance type of guy, right? He's not, I don't hear much or see too much of him in the media where he's, ruffling any feathers either way, right? He just goes about his business. He's probably a coach's dream in that sense, where, hey, I can move him up and down the lineup. He can play on the power play, not play on the power play. This guy's just seems to be able to perform, and that's obviously what you want. So yeah, he's definitely a bright spot. That's what they need. They need guys like him, and they need guys like Kapanen, and obviously, Savoy's obviously, found another level in his game. He's very fun to watch. He got lots of jump and tenacity, and I think that was probably one of the nicer things to see in yesterday's game too, is like when guys are able to play some of those minutes and take some of those minutes away from, Connor McDavid, obviously, because Leon Draisaitl's hurt. They're going to lean on McDavid a lot naturally, but if some other guys can put up some numbers and spread that out a little bit, McDavid's played a lot of hockey. It's been an Olympic year, so it's just a lot of hockey in general, but just the last couple of years. So, we got to, make sure that, they don't want to lean on anyone necessarily too much, right?
John Brown with us in Sports 1440. So, it used to be almost a given that everyone thought that Utah was going to slide into this Pacific Division bracket. Not so the case anymore because Nashville's come on here, Brownie. And Nashville with a win last night. They're 3 points back of Utah for wild card number 1. And nobody wants to be wild card number 2 because you go in to the Central Division. When you look at the opponents that the Oilers could possibly play here in the first round, could be Anaheim, could be Vegas, could be Utah, could be Nashville. LA's not out of it yet either. And the Oilers still, as you say, have work to do. Is there a better matchup out of those teams that I mentioned for a first-round opponent that you think that the Oilers would face? Is there a better matchup over some of the other teams that I mentioned?
I don't know. I think it just, to me, I don't know if the matchup necessarily matters as long. What matters is the Oilers are finding their game, right? I think if, the Edmonton Oilers find their game, obviously Draisaitl gets healthy. They're going to be a handful for anyone. But if they don't find their game and they're kind of puttering and it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back, does it matter who you play, right? But I think anytime you can kind of if you get into the playoffs and maybe you're playing, a team with a little less experience. We've seen that, with the Edmonton Oilers, it's important, for before you make these runs, you almost need to get some experience. And they were that team at one point, right? So, they've been battle tested. They know what it's like. They know what it takes. So, playing a team with a little less experience might help them. But at the end of the day, I think the key for the Edmonton Oilers is obviously getting their one of their star players back, but just goaltending and as a team defending, just finding their game right now is probably the most important thing.
Brownie, as always, great stuff. Enjoy our conversations. Enjoy the alumni skates. Are you going to make?
What about Doug Hicks turning back the clock there? And holy moly! Hey, he looks great.
Sure, he's in fantastic.
Aging
physical.
like a fine wine.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and that's what that's all his diet is just wine. That's what Hicks's diet is.
What a turnout! I didn't even get into the big boy dressing room. I was kind of showed up a little late there, but yeah, I think there's one skate left.
Yeah, it's the last game of the regular season. It's that Vancouver. So I believe 16th of April.
Okay. Yeah. No. You're on like an NHL schedule. Like you're playing with Shinny with the alumni. My wife says she sees you at Argyle.
Well,
you probably talk to my wife more than I do.
I was just going to say, the last time I talked to Wendy, she said, I can't believe that Sean doesn't get his lazy ass off the couch and come down and skate with you guys on Mondays and Thursdays.
No, I picked up a new hobby. I was cross-country skiing, so I'm trying that out.
Well, that's hard stuff too, though.
It is hard. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Sure it is. Have you got a trail maker out there?
No. I go to the Strathcona Wilderness Center. It's a great deal. It's like $25-$30 for like 3 hours. I'm probably the youngest person out there.
You should see if you can just pay $10 for 1 hour.
Usually that's about all it takes anyway. But
why waste the $20, Brownie?
Yeah. I thought it was over. If it keeps snowing here, I think the trails will be back on here. So,
well, maybe make Wendy some pancakes here or something this morning.
Yeah, she's just kind of getting her day going here too.
See you, Brownie. Take care, man.
Okay. Have a good one. Bye, you guys.
Sean Brown, former NHLer, longtime Edmonton Oiler, one of the true good guys in the game, no question about that. That's the Puck Report brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, book your appointment. Check them out. They care about one thing. It's your vehicle, fountaintire.com. Book your appointment today. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to some of them after the break. We should probably hear from Connor McDavid on a big milestone night. So we'll hear from the Oilers captain right after the break when we come back on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly. Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
The WHL playoffs return to Rogers Place. Family fun that's second to none, starting at just $20 a seat.
This Friday, your Edmonton Oil Kings square off with the Saskatoon Blades in Game 1 of their first-round series. Then, on Family Fun Sunday, your Oil Kings turn up the heat for Game 2 versus Saskatoon.
Plus, at every home game score, Calmont Kids food combos for $10 or less.
Edmonton Oil Kings, Saskatoon Blades.
Game 1, Friday night at 7. Game 2, Family Fun Sunday afternoon at 2.
Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20. Save on day-of-game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You started wearing it to guys' night.
Nice toque, you hoser.
Then you started wearing it to work.
Nice toque, you hipster.
But the truth is, you're not a hoser or a hipster. You're just trying to hide your hair loss. I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, and for over 2 decades, I've used the latest techniques to help thousands save their hair, including my own. Come see me today to explore your options. By the time it warms up enough to take off the toque, you could have a head of hair you won't want to hide. Go to drvanceelliott.com today.
Sports 1440. All sports, all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:44 in Edmonton. Big win for the Oilers last night, 5-2 in Utah. Text line 833-401-1440 40 IMAX says about Sean Brown. Another beauty Oiler that retired in the area. Pretty cool. Nails texts in, morning fellas. Do you feel that game that the Oilers played last night would be enough against the top teams? It's a really good question, Nails. Because sometimes, you get, I always say, you could put, let's just say you put the Dallas Stars uniforms on a team that's not at that level, but that team is playing to the level of the Dallas Stars that night. I'm not saying that Utah is at that level. That's not what I'm saying. But you never know on a night-to-night basis how good of a game you're going to get from an opposition. Now, a lot of people are saying that Utah, and I've said this too, Utah is just as good as anyone in the Pacific. Yes, the Pacific is bad. The question, would it be enough? In a yes or no answer, I'd say probably no, Nails. But there's way more room to grow in this game. So this is, and it's not a starting point. It's just a point of their game, the evolution of it, where it needs to continue to grow, to get better. But you see the signs. We've seen the signs many times this year. We haven't seen those signs sustainable for a lengthy period, for more than a week. So I would say that it's on its way, but there are still more things. Like, to be honest, the second goal that was scored on the power play, and this is a power play that isn't very good, and I'm not piling on Tristan Jarry. This guy needs all the confidence he can get. But if a goalie's playing the puck off the end boards and is going down and he's trying to snuff it out with his blocker down by the stick, he's got to snuff that out. He's got to make sure that puck isn't coming off the end boards if he's making the play like that. If he's just using his stick to the right and maybe stopping it, or if he doesn't feel he has enough time to make that play, then he's got to be set for the puck coming out in the slot. To me, if Jarry had a do-over on that, he'd go, yeah, that I should have had that. I've got to kill that play with my blocker down low, because that's where he is. So there's little things, little things that can be corrected, improved, all of the above, but they're on the right track, and you're on the right track with that text. King of Fort Nasty says, good morning, KK, Duke, and Finney. As Sean Brown said, trying cross-country skiing. The Duke tried cross-country skiing, but he couldn't get his sorels to fit in the bindings. Is this true, Duke?
It would make sense. You need some big bindings, and I'm more of a Dunlop guy. Trying to think if I've ever even tried cross-country skiing. I don't think so. I have a lot of experience downhill skiing. A lot. A lot.
Like, what do you mean a lot?
I could ski circles around you and Spec.
I don't believe that.
What? Believe it or not, Kevin, growing up in Red Deer, we even had what would look like a mountain. It looked like Mount Fuji to where you had in Saskatchewan for a local hill, Canyon Ski Club. Red Deer, we used to go like 3 nights a week. And then you graduate from there to heading out to Marmot all the time on holidays when we go to Hinton to visit the family. Trips down to Banff. I've been to Whitefish many times, out to BC, to Revy, to Golden.
Well, I'm going to bring that.
I've been everywhere. And keep in mind, my ski days
happening.
are now behind me. I made that proclamation this winter, as a matter of fact, saying it's like I probably will never ski again. Maybe way down the line, but because I just don't have a halfway switch, and my knees can't take the reckless way that I ski anymore. So I'm hanging them up.
Spec is going to go ballistic when I tell him that you'll be skiing circles around him.
What can I say?
Yeah.
What can I say?
Pods. Jay and Victoria wanted to know, hey, KK, what's your take on Pods' game last night? Jay loves Pods, his favorite player. I think he's hesitant when he's with Connor. Doesn't seem to be the same player. That is the only thing I noticed with a great win. The run starts now. It's a sort of a point, and I notice a little bit of that, Jay, and maybe it's more about he wants to concentrate more on the defensive side. And maybe that's the hesitancy that you see. When he's playing with Leon and technically Kapanen, it's a different dynamic. Everyone knows that. But if he's with Connor, and maybe you're seeing that hesitancy where he's making sure that he doesn't get caught or is a step too far offensively. He needs to be in position to get back defensively or to fill a hole defensively. Maybe that's what you're seeing, and especially with Matt Savoy on the other side, because he can dart in and out, and maybe he just wants to be more responsible. Maybe that's what you're seeing. So anyway, Connor McDavid, big game last night, reaches the 400 goal mark, reaches the 800 assist mark. Pardon me, not 800 assists, 1,200 points in total. So he's still an assist shy, but he's got 401, 799, 1,200 big ones. He had these post-game comments.
Well, Connor, a couple milestones for you tonight. Maybe just kind of take us through, if you can reflect on the journey that you've been on and kind of the road that it's taken to get to these.
Yeah, fortunate to have played with some really great players. I think that's the main thing. Obviously, these milestones are just a nice time to reflect, and just very grateful to have played with so many great players.
A player that you're playing with right now in Matt Savoy, what do you appreciate most about the young talent that he is?
Yeah, he's playing well. He's doing a lot of really good things. It was a huge goal on the kill there. He plays with a lot of energy. He's got a great motor on him, and keeps pucks alive, and that's all you can ask for.
Over the years, you've had a lot of these. It seems to me that you get less focused on them as time goes by. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. That being said, when you're getting up to some of these bigger numbers, it definitely, it's a reflection of time past, and it's my 11th year in this league, and you don't get those back. So very grateful to play in this league, and as I said, play with some great players, and yeah.
This is a potential playoff matchup, either first round or second round. What do you see out of this team if you do meet in the playoffs?
Oh, they got a ton of talent. They're loaded with talent. They're super good with the puck. Really, really dangerous. I thought we did a good job checking tonight, keeping them kind of on the outside. And but they got some great shooters that can score from out there. So Jars was good too.
A lot of block shots and a lot of just good D-zone coverage. What was working defensively for you guys tonight?
Well, I thought we really dug in there, and I thought, as you said, some guys some guys made some big blocks. And I think of Murph making a few. Forwards making a few too. So it obviously helps. It's that time of year. You got to do it.
This is the game that you've been looking for, right? 18 shots against, lots of block shots, good goaltending. I would think we talk about the game you've been searching for a long time. Yeah. This might be it.
Yeah, it was a good one. One that we hope we can replicate, obviously, on Thursday, and one that we hope to repeat time and time again.
What's made you such a good goal scorer over the years, and then 1,200 points?
Goal scoring is something that has not come easy to me or naturally to me. So something that I work at, something that I focus on. I've said it at the beginning of the year, trying to shoot more pucks and take pucks there. There's good nights and bad nights in that area, and I'm fortunate to have scored a couple goals in this league.
What can you say about the 1,200 points? It's just total 11 years.
Yeah, it's a big number, obviously, and I feel like I got a lot of great years ahead of me still, which is exciting. And but as I said, it's a reflection of time past, and as I said, incredibly grateful to have played with so many great players to kind of knock some of these milestones off. Thanks a lot.
That's Connor McDavid last night, and I think he'll be taking the day off from the media here in the next couple. He's had Saturday, had Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday, so he'll have a couple days off from the media, I would imagine. Hey, we had a text earlier, and it was from Tom. Hey, Kevin, great show as always. What was with the crowd last night? 12,000 and some. You got a guy like Connor McDavid coming into your building. You got a pretty good team. Just surprised me at how low the attendance was, considering that the team and who was playing there. And I said, I noticed it too, Tom. I replied to him. I said, and it was really quiet, I thought, as well. And I'm trying to find the attendance last night. I believe it was 12,500 ballpark. But I noticed how quiet it was in the building. You could hear pretty well everything on the ice as well. And Duke and I were just talking about it in the break about what the capacity is in the Delta Center. They changed things up, obviously, because when hockey came in, they had to make some adjustments to the facility, and they did that pretty quickly. I thought it was pushing up towards 16, 17. When I do the, what's the capacity? It says 17,000, but I don't know if it's at that either. But I'm sure a lot of our listeners noticed how quiet it was in the building, and maybe that's had to do with the Oilers taking Utah out of the game a little bit as well. But the attendance that I got last night, 12,478. Text 833-401-1440. Coming up top of the hour, Mark Spectre will check in. A lot of texts coming in regarding Duke's skiing career. Maybe, Duke, you can somehow, with no, your bum knee, you can move on to some, I don't know, they have, I'm not saying Paralympics, Duke, or anything like that, but maybe they've got some games for you where guys that don't have ligaments in the one knee, you can maybe.
No, like I said, if I just had a brain in my head, I could continue skiing in a much more casual fashion. But unfortunately, I don't. So when I get out there, I feel this incessant need to go full tilt the entire time I'm on the hill, bombing through the trees, hitting the little lips off the side of the runs and stuff. I just can't pull back on the reins. I'm having too much fun. And then I pay the price for subsequent weeks following with how my legs feel. And more specifically, he said absent ligaments, ligament, particularly in my one knee.
Colin from Rimby says, Duke, don't quit on skiing. Knees over toes, man. Spec is a youngster out there.
I just dream of being like Spec.
We all do.
So many ways.
Yeah, we all do.
Skiing prowess, one of them.
Coming up, top of the hour, Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet. Also, Steve Ashenber from the NBA.com. Lots to talk about around the NBA. I mean, it's just like the NHL. We got 3 weeks plus or so, a ballpark to get ready for playoffs. So it's an exciting time down the stretch here. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Edmonton Oilers victorious last night in Utah. Matt Savoy picking up a shorthanded goal. Connor McDavid hitting his 400th career goal and 1,200th point in the victory. Around the rest of the NHL, 14 games, including the Leafs doubling up the Bruins 4-2. Habs get past the Hurricanes 5-2. Senators with a big 2 points over the Red Wings 3-2 the final in Detroit. And in the nightcap, Vancouver Canucks falling to Anaheim, who pad their lead atop the Pacific with a 5-3 victory. Lone game in the PWHL had Boston blanking Vancouver 2-0. And the Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs. Game number 3 is around the province last night. Whitecourt blanking Fort McMurray 4-0. Grand Prairie doubling up Lloydminster 6-3. Camrose falling to Drumheller 6-4. And Canmore beat Calgary 5-2. Just 4 games in the association. Charlotte, big win over Sacramento 134-90. The Knicks just get past New Orleans 121-116. Magic fall to the Cavs 136-131. And Denver felled by 23 points from Nikola Jokic. Get past Phoenix 125-123. And just coming across the wire, Joe Flacco back yet again as he will agree to a 1-year deal to stay with the Cincinnati Bengals. Coming up in hour 2, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Spectre and Steve Ashenber from NBA.com. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, McCarr, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive?
A puddle.
That's not just spring fever, that's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road, own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
That's 2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at kumaoutdoorgear.com.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. Hour number 2 of the Kevin Karius program. So glad you're with us on a Wednesday morning. Our co-host David Schlimco will arrive in about an hour or so. So we got that going for us. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. March Madness is finally here. Yeah, March Madness, and it's no joke. No giveaways, no phony prizes, just a good old-fashioned deal. See more at northgategm.com as we welcome in Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec.
What's happening, brother?
Well, you and I are getting slagged by the Duke of Delburne here so far in the morning.
I heard some of that. Yeah, I heard some of that. So this is a guy this is one of those guys that says, I don't ski anymore, but if I did, I'd be awesome. Is that what I'm hearing?
Pretty well,
Right.
yeah. Like he's talking about some mountain near Delburne that he grew up on. You know, it was basically, he would wake up at the ranch and the farm at Delburne and crawl out and then get into like a quad chairlift and zip up the hill at some mountain near Delburne and ski for hours on end, apparently.
Yeah, I quit playing the guitar. I don't play anymore. But if I did play, I'm way better than Eddie Van Halen, way better.
Yeah.
But I don't play anymore. So I don't ever have to show you that or prove that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Duke. I don't ski. But if I did, you sound like that guy in the beer commercial,
Dos Equis.
Yeah, the Dos Equis commercial.
Yeah. Most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, the best skier in the world who doesn't ski.
Hey, when you on your way to Vegas here?
I got a 11:40.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I know. Then they call the practice at noon. I'm not sure I'm going to get there on time. I land when practice starts, so it's going to be one of those deals. But
You know
whatever.
what? They call that practice spec. You know what's going to happen. There'll be another text out and it'll say option.
I know.
Yeah.
You never know what to do on the road. Anyway, I should have been there earlier, but I'm usually a guy that catches an early flight. There wasn't one.
Mm-hmm.
However, we'll sort that out. What'd you think of the game last night?
Well, again, it's funny, as I said, when you invest and engage defensively like you do offensively, or like you can offensively, and when you do all those little things and you buy in and you have the battle level and you have the commitment and you decide that this is how tight we're going to play and we're going to block and we're going to be totally invested in what we do in our own end and with on the rush with the opposition, things fall into place. They've always had this game spec. We just haven't seen it for more than a game or two here.
Well, fair enough, right? Like will we see it for a second game in a row?
It's the big question, isn't it?
This is this is really we've been saying all year. We watched them play this game. We watched them do it back to back to back in playoff series and beat Dallas 4 straight and beat Vegas in 5. And like this, no one's saying they can't do it. In the past, but I'm starting to wonder if they can do it this season. Like that was a killer hockey game last night for the Oilers. They were excellent. Best player on the ice was Evan Bouchard, was unbelievably slick last night, just quiet and sharp snap passes right on the tape. And he was so good. And they defended well and they got the goaltending when they needed it. And now let's see if you can do it 2 days in a row, right?
Yeah. So, you had a little focus on Jari in your article today.
I talked to Jari, sure.
And
easy being him, right?
No. What'd you think? His last quality start is almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. So, he was, was he perfect? He wasn't perfect. He's a guy on his way back here. I think he needs to do, speaking of guys doing stuff 2-3 days in a row, that's what he needs. He needs a few good starts in a row to be able to, to believe that he's got it, that it's there for him. But 1 in a row is the only place to start. I thought, like that shorthanded goal, he's got to get that puck. He's got to help his PK. Or not the power play goal, I should say.
Yeah, coming off the board. Yep.
He's got to grab that puck and stop play. That's just a goalie's job. Somehow it's snuck through him. It's in front of the net. It's a goal. Boom. Guy's not covered because probably everyone thinks goalie's going to get the puck. He wasn't perfect, but he was good. And to my eye, and I know people are saying he's had all this run support and all that. To my eye, that's the first time in a long time the Oilers have really played a stand-up defensive game in front of them and let them sort of settle into a game without facing 5 grade A's in the first 10 minutes, So it's team effort, and he carried his part of the load.
When I watch him in the crease spec again, what I see legs and pads. They can be quieter.
He can be quieter.
Yeah. He's the sliding around is just a little too much for me, just a tad too much.
He still slides. He overslides. Yeah. I'm not a goalie expert, but you don't have to be to see a guy that's 2 feet past his post. There's no need to go out there, right? And the good goalies never do. Not the good goalies, but goalies who are quiet and effective on top of their game, and that includes Jari when he's playing well. I'll bet she doesn't slide out there. Exactly. For sure. I thought there was a couple of rebounds that shouldn't have been rebounds. Like the best goalie is the one the puck sticks to. And there was a couple that hit him right in the torso that ended up in the slot. And so there's things to improve on. I'm not telling you he's the greatest ever, but
that's just time and reps game. I said yesterday, Spec, I'm going back to him tomorrow night in Vegas.
Yeah, not me.
No.
Go back to Ingram, I think. It is funny, though. If you look at that game tomorrow, Vegas has the 32nd ranked save percentage in the National Hockey League, and Edmonton has the 31st. So
I look at 2. I'm looking ahead to Spec for Saturday, and it's an afternoon game, and that's why I'm kind of looking at it like that.
Well, who you want to start that game?
Well, I guess both ways. So, it's not a back-to-back, but, it's a 1:30 start. So you're going to get back on whatever, and Friday's going to be a day off, right? You think, or not? Because maybe it isn't because it's a 1:30 game. I don't know. On Saturday.
These are tricky ones when you come off the road on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a practice Friday, there's obviously no morning skate for what time's the game Saturday? 1:30?
1:30, yeah. So
so there's obviously no morning skate. So now you're looking at not touching the ice between Vegas and playing Anaheim on Saturday. Now, what's Anaheim doing? I'd have to look that up, see if there's a decided advantage there or not.
Well, Anaheim will play Thursday night. They've got to play Thursday night.
They can't play Friday night. So
I'll check that for sure on Thursday.
Listen, whatever. It's the same for everybody.
Calgary. Duke says they're in Calgary.
They're in Calgary Thursday. So will they come to Edmonton skate Friday? Maybe. I don't know. Whatever. These guys they'll have to figure it out. But
and I want to give Jari. I want to give him this game again, and then I'll go back to Ingram on Saturday.
Well, first of all, they plan this stuff way further out than. Let's see how you played Tuesday, and we'll make our call on Thursday. I'm not saying that you can't pivot.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you the Oilers have it planned out that they had probably told Ingram before they left for this trip. I'm sure they told Ingram before they left this trip, we're going to start you Thursday. Could they pivot and change? Yeah, they could. Yeah, they could.
Yeah, you mentioned even on the defensive side with Bouchard had a really good game. That Emberson pass on that first goal, that to me, I had to look. I thought, was that Bouchard?
No, that was just a slick little retrieval. He just wheeled into the corner and flipped that puck out. I think it was on the backhand, right in the tape.
Yeah.
And as that line rush went up the ice, I was the press box, so to speak, there is really at the top of the lower bowl in the corner, and those guys were skating away from me. And three guys, like when I think Nugent Hopkins took the pass.
Yep.
Can't remember. I think so.
Wallman, yeah.
Yeah, and he took the pass, and all three guys were going like that. That's why the pass was so perfect, because all three guys came down low and started building speed. The puck was on the tape. Boom! It's a 3-on-2 line rush. It ends up on Nugent Hopkins' stick. He gives it to Roslovic, and he is a finisher, Roslovic. Like,
sure he is.
He can finish, man. He ripped that puck far post.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was and again, that rush doesn't happen without a quiet little. I didn't even see. Did Emerson get a point on that?
No, because it's Emberson to Nuge and then to Wallman. And so Wallman made the play over to Roslovic, Spec. And that's to me, Wallman on that play looked like Wallman of last year.
Yeah, join a rush, man. You want a guy on each. Yeah.
Strong, smart, looking okay. I got Roslovic on this side, backhand pass. That to me, that looked like that reminded me of Wallman from last year at times. So.
Yeah, listen, everybody plays a strong game last night. They really didn't have any weak links. And then they're a pretty good team. They're a pretty good team. When everybody pitches in and everybody plays well, the Nurse's pairing was good and solid. And, him and Murphy, somebody pinned they pinballed a puck off those two guys and it went in. That's just bad luck. Nurse had a lot of that this year. But no, very, very strong outing. To your talk earlier about the rink, that rink, I don't know what it seats, but I know that it says that they're trying to get to 17,000 for hockey. They're not there. The upper bowl seats in the end zones, you can't see from the top of the circle in yet.
Okay.
So they give those tickets away. Like if you go to the local shopping, the grocery store that sponsors the Utahs, you spend $50, you get 4 end zone seats, but you have to watch part of the game on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So it was loud in there. I don't know what it must not have come across on TV. They've got good fans. It was loud. They still aren't exactly sure when to cheer, but they just cheer anyway. Which we've seen in all those new arenas.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a nice looking hockey market, and they've put a ton of work into that rink, man. They raised the floor 2 feet. They raised the floor of the rink 2 feet over the summer.
Wow.
It's crazy. So
we had Matt McConnell on, play-by-play guy, yesterday, and he just is raving about. He was in Arizona for so many years. He had one of the best lines that I've heard anyone come on the show with, Spec. So he starts talking about, he was in Arizona for how many years with the Coyotes, and what it was like there, and then you see these contracts that have been signed, for the last couple of days with Schmaltz and things like that.
Yep.
And he says, well, and this, like the salary cap thing here it's kind of foreign to me. He said.
Yeah, right. Having an owner that pays his bills is likely kind of foreign too.
Kind of foreign to me. Hey, James Hamlin called up last night as emergency. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a game here. I could see him going in for Järventie.
Maybe. Yeah, Järventie played. I don't know how many minutes he played last night,
but
eight,
I think.
8:52, just about 9. I didn't mind it. He was okay, blasting up and down the wing as a fourth liner. Looked like he had some confidence. I didn't mind him. He's got good size. But could Hamblin do the same thing? Probably, for sure. He's a little smaller.
Smaller.
No, everyone likes James Hamblin. He is the classic tweener. He's oftentimes the best guy on the Bakersfield roster, and then he comes up here, and there's not really sort of, a place for him. He's not skilled enough to be a top 6 centerman. He's probably a little small to be a bottom 6 centerman. but he's got a ton of respect in this organization, and he gives you everything he's got, no matter where you play him and what city and what league. Everybody loves Hammer here, so I hope he gets a game.
I got to ask you this then. So you know what? Everyone was saying that Utah's a lock here to make the playoffs. They're not. They're not a lock to make the playoffs.
Okay.
That's because Nashville's coming on here, Spec. And between Nashville, and we haven't seen them, well, I guess we just saw them recently, but so we're going to see, we just saw Utah, going to see Vegas tomorrow, going to see Anaheim. There's a good chance that the Oilers will play one of those teams first round, but you got to take Nashville into that mix too. Who do you think is the Oilers' best matchup out of those teams that I mentioned?
Well, I mean, I got to say Nashville because they've been beating Nashville for fun for about 8 years. First of all, Utah's making it. I mean, the next team after the next closest team is the LA Kings, and they're 6 points behind Utah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying because of what bracket they would go into.
Yeah, Utah might fall and have to go through the Central. They don't want that. Nobody wants that. They're fighting to get into the pillow fight division for sure.
Hey, they're 6 clear of LA with a game in hand.
Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
You know, could LA catch Nashville? I suppose they could.
They could catch Utah still, Spec.
6 points with 10 games to play. Come on. They're not catching Utah. I mean, 6 points with 10 games to play. No one makes up 6 points.
What if it were 4? What if it were 4 points?
But it's 6.
Yeah, but they got a game in hand.
Whatever. I don't know. Sure. I'll believe that when I see Duke buzz past me on a ski hill.
Hey, never mind. Maybe the Jets will sneak in here yet, Spec.
Yeah, I doubt that too. I mean, we've watched it before. There's so many 3-point games and there's teams to pass and everyone's playing pretty hard here. They did give, I'll tell you right now, the team you want to play in the first round is Vegas. That's the team you want to play in the first round. They're just like Edmonton with even worse goaltending. They can't find their game either. They got beat up in Winnipeg last night, 4-1.
But if they do find their game, Spec.
If they do, you know what? I guess if they do, they're different. But their goaltending, like Ingram, that's another reason I start Ingram. Of the 4 goalies that are going to take part in that game tomorrow, Ingram's going by far the best out of all 4. They don't know who they like there. Like they just don't have a goalie that they can start, that they trust. So this isn't Vegas's year. I think this could be it for Cassidy. I think this is a year that there's not a lot of confidence in Vegas. That's what I gather. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a big test for Vegas. Edmonton came in that building and beat them in a game just a couple of weeks ago. And everybody can see that there's a decent chance this is going to be a matchup in the playoffs. Let's see what Vegas gives you tomorrow night. This is going to tell you a lot about Vegas's team confidence and the way they, whoever they like in goal is the guy that's going to start tomorrow. And I don't know who that is. I just don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And this is a mere sort of gut check game for Vegas. You can't let the Oilers come through twice in 3 weeks and beat you in your own building in a playoff race, right? You can't have that happen.
Safe travel, Spec. We'll yak at you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, sounds good from Vegas, Kev.
Okay, buddy. Mark Spectre from Rogers Sportsnet on the mark. Brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you only at NorthgateGMC.com. When we come back, Steve Ashenber from the NBA.com and Sports Illustrated. When we come back on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440 AM radio, we're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes.
Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Are you looking for an affordable business, group, or team outing this season? Why not catch the excitement of a game with the 5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints? With extremely affordable group and suite packages available and some of the lowest food and drink prices around, Saints games are the perfect night for your next group event. Get your group in on the action. For more information, visit sgsaints.ca.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:21 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Draining clogged pipes like 3-pointers for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrrooter.ca. As we welcome back Steve Ashenber from NBA.com. Good morning, Steve. You're with Kevin Karius. Once again, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. As always, really appreciate it.
Hi, Kevin. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, I wanted to maybe just start off with this, the 65-game rule change that the PA's kind of pushing, I guess, a little bit because of the Cade Cunningham situation. What have you been hearing on that as far as that 65-game rule change goes here, Steve?
Yeah, I guess it's pretty much what the players' union is complaining about. This is only an issue because players were not showing a lot of intensity regarding making appearances on the court. This came about after, years of load management, of healthy players in street clothes. When a family of 4 drops $800 or $500 to go to a basketball game, and the stars of the teams, particularly the visitors, are sitting out. You're not going to see that one visit a year from Giannis Antetokounmpo or from Luka Doncic or Kawhi Leonard, one of the greatest offenders of load management. And so players kind of brought this on themselves. I don't know where the union was at that point, complaining about, it's going to deprive our members of congratulatory awards, and honors, which of course are linked in, All NBA and even awards are linked into the level of future contracts, not just informally, but formally in terms of, if a guy makes all NBA or is an MVP or something else, in a certain time frame heading into the contract negotiation, then all of a sudden it's an extra $30 or $40 million.
Yeah.
So, that's wrong to begin with, that something that I vote on can either gain or lose a player that I cover independently a huge chunk of money.
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, that player's agent could contact all the media voters for these awards and say, hey, if it happens to fall my guy's way, might see a check in the mail. I mean, it sounds silly, but, and we have integrity. I believe most of the voters, by and large, a large percentage just bring, a certain integrity, and they're going to vote their opinions, mostly because we're all opinionated and we don't like being steered in any direction. But I just think the union is a little late here in terms of, you don't like that the players might get screwed in a certain level. Meanwhile, fans were getting screwed with their hard-earned money when they went to watch games. The other thing I'll say is that, the MVP who played the fewest games in NBA history in a regular 82-game season, I believe was Bill Walton back in 1978 with Portland. And he played, because of injuries that ended his season, he played a total of 58 games, which to me means the media, the voters, have done a pretty good job through the years of sort of regulating that all informally. My first thought when I heard about the 65-game rule was, I factor that in. I mean, you hear it from coaches all the time. One of the best abilities is availability. And so the guys that don't play as often, if a guy has a great year and he played 63 games and somebody else had a great year and played 78 games, any tiebreaker is going to go to that guy who put it out there on the floor for his team and the audience more than others. So, it kind of was regulated. We didn't see a bunch of players getting major awards, or I believe even making all NBA teams with, very few appearances. I think Zion Williamson, because he was so injury prone from the moment he arrived in the NBA, I think that he started to get, votes for Rookie of the Year, or when he only played at a minimal number of games and things like that. But it was rare, and so if they somehow abolish the 65-game rule, that doesn't change my mind. I mean, if a guy's not playing often enough, it doesn't mean I'm compelled to vote for him for an award. Look, Cade Cunningham is legitimately hurt.
Yeah.
He ended up with a collapsed lung, and should it wipe out everything he did prior to this? No, but if it wipes out anything, it wipes out our ability to put him on an all-NBA squad.
Right.
He's not going to win MVP. I doubt he was headed toward that anyway. I don't want to be, presumptuous and preclude him from that. But, this stuff has always had a way of working out without controversy. But right now, the union is going to bat for its dues-paying members.
Right.
That doesn't speak any louder to me than other voices in this discussion.
Thanks for clearing that up, Steve, because I guess, we are talking about two things at the same time here with, as you say, Giannis and also with Cunningham, who's legitimately out. And as you say, I guess it's follow the money. If he is first team all NBA, I mean, again, that's, his agent, who's a Jeff Schwartz, would say, yeah, I mean, my client deserves this, deserves that because of what he would have accomplished if you are not counting that 65-game threshold.
Yeah, and the funny thing going on, I think the union piped up too on Giannis's behalf, because they're now claiming that the Bucks are blocking Giannis from playing or trying to stop him from playing because they want to improve their draft position. and that after being injured for much of the season, he wants to get out there and play. I tend to think that a reason they're holding off is they don't want him to get hurt in largely meaningless games, which then would muddy trade talks in the off season. If he gets hurt late in the year, God forbid if he did something serious like torn Achilles or ripped an MCL, or an ACL, excuse me. Then what do you got? The Bucks don't have the player anymore for a year, and they can't move him. He can't go somewhere. So I think it's mostly to keep things in a bubble, such that they can get whatever they deem to be max value for Giannis. I don't think they worry about Giannis coming out and winning the games by himself. I think until he came back recently, they were no better than a 500 team with him on the floor, and 500 over what's left of the season isn't going to get them anywhere.
Steve Ashenber with us on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. So without Cunningham, what do you like about the Pistons? How would you assess their chances here in the East without Cunningham?
Well, I think they're good, and I think lately without Cunningham, they've been showing that they can figure out ways to win games. Even when he's not on the floor. Now, I don't think that's a long-term strategy where you're going to beat, top teams, playoff teams, 4 times in 7 games without your best player. I mean, he's head and shoulders, the Pistons' biggest talent and leader. But I like their toughness as a team. When they have Isaiah Stewart, who I think is a hothead and can get a little bit dirty, and likes to flex his boxing roots a little too much, but he does protect the rim. He does bring an intimidation factor. He and Jalen Duren inside, are pretty formidable, and I think that plants a seed in their opponents' minds about how much they want to attack the paint. I think J.B. Bickerstaff, other than the fact that people have gotten used to the Pistons being good over the course of this long season, I would think he'd be a favorite for Coach of the Year, to have the best team in the conference after a team just a couple of years ago, was winning something like 14 games. They tripled their win total last year, and then, and now they're, the best team in the East. So I like the Pistons a lot. They lack experience in the playoffs. That's sort of the glaring, flaw in their formula, assuming that Cunningham is able to come back in time for the postseason. But you get experience as you go. And when you're playing the survivor of a play-in bracket at, 1 versus 8, you have time. You either dispatch that team in 4, or, you toy with them over 7, and, you still have time to sort of gain experience and gel and mature for that next step, even in the short term. So, no, I like Detroit to come out of the East as much as anybody else.
Steve Ashenber from NBA.com, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. The Toronto Raptors sitting in the 5-hole right now, as you know, Steve, in LA tonight to take on the Clippers, basically a 500 team. Have the Raptors surprised you at all this year? What's your assessment of our Canadian team?
The one thing that surprised me is that if they should end up in a showdown, a playoff series against Cleveland, I think they've beaten Cleveland every time they've met this year. Now, the asterisk on that is those meetings came really early in the season. I think they all came before December, certainly before the turn of the year. So, things morph over that time. So that did surprise me. I have to admit that I haven't spent a lot of time on the Raptors just because I don't feel they've been that compelling. I think they've just sort of knocked around. Are they a little above 500, not making any noise in the East to speak of? I'm aware of some of their young talent because of one of my duties at NBA.com is to do our weekly rookie rankings, and I've done that for a number of years. So I see these guys as they come in, and some of them sort of peak early and aren't part of any long-term plan, and other guys, that's where they announce their presence in the NBA. And Colin Murray Boyles this year, if not for injuries, he would have been a regular on the weekly rookie ladder that I write. And I like it. I like the fact that, not all of the rookies, make their bones offensively. He had a game the other day where he blocked 5 shots, if I recall correctly. And he's always had a defensive bent to his approach. And I like that a lot. And I thought that really fit the Raptors. So, they've got talent. Scotty Barnes is a fun player. He's sort of a versatile, gives you what you need in certain circumstances. Brandon Ingram's a scorer. So they do have the talent, but I don't see them a first round upset. Maybe if they play Cleveland, if they can get that opponent that somehow they handle. That would be significant. Cleveland was the best team in the East last regular season. They haven't had that sort of traction this year, but they do face expectations even greater than they did a year ago because, everybody's had to wait. They always seem to underachieve by a round or a level. And so if Toronto were to have a hand in, bumping them off and causing probably significant changes with the Cavaliers, that alone would be sort of a victory within the mindset of the league.
As you said, Steve, you focus a lot on rookies with your duties at NBA.com. And this year's been really good with Con Knippel, Cooper Flagg. I don't know how you have them ranked in your mind. And I saw your latest article here about VJ Edgecombe pushing up the ranks. Maybe just touch on what you've seen with some great rookies in the NBA this year.
Yeah, it's been sort of a fun year to cover the rookies because the rookie class of 2025 has been so deep. There've been some recent seasons where, all right, let's see, how can I tout guys that are really not big factors for their teams, but it wasn't a deep class. And when Stephon Castle was Rookie of the Year last year, he's a very good player and he's gotten better, but he was not one of those tentpole rookies that a franchise is going to say, this is our guy. Now, they had already gotten him with Victor Wembanyama, so Stephon Castle didn't need to be that. But, it was that sort of a rookie season a year ago. But this year, I think there have been about, the ladder goes 10 rungs deep. And I would say there's, week in, week out, there's 15, 16 guys that could lay claim to a spot. And so that's unusual. And I think just in terms of depth of talent and, really with a league that's on the verge of expanding by 2 teams, depth of talent is pretty important. There's going to be 30 players in the league soon that weren't here and aren't here right now. And so, you need to find those guys coming in. And we hear, great things about the coming draft class as well. Rookie of the Year thing surprised me. Obviously, it makes, retroactively, it makes you wonder, why didn't Duke win the national championship? If you got these 2 guys in your forwards, spots, Cooper Flagg and Con Knippel. Now, Knippel, major surprise to me. He went 4th. I know some people thought, that's too high for this kid. Well, no, not now that you look and you see that he's part of a changed culture in Charlotte. They really believe they can win. They do win. They win big often. Their offense is tremendous. They've got a lot of good things going on with the Hornets right now, and he's leading not just my rookie rankings, but the Vegas odd makers approach, and Cooper Flagg is more of the traditional, impactful star rookie where he comes in, he puts up big numbers for a team that sputters, and that's who you choose when you cast your ballot because he'll be a good player in this league. Con Knippel's more of a modern darling in terms of analytics, shooting percentages, a subtlety to his game, not massive scoring nights, but doing a lot of things that help your team win, even if it's taking a half step back on a given night because somebody else has it going. So, it's some of it's going to be a matter of taste when the voters do vote. And my point with today's piece that went up today was VJ Income, has been great for Philadelphia. He's done for them at various points anything they asked, and they've asked different things from him. He put up major points while the frontline guys, Embiid and Maxey and George were out. And that, of course, gets you a lot of attention. Scoring is still, king in the NBA. But he did other things, and he caulked in some of the gaps when they did have a star or two available. And he'll make defensive plays. He's as good a third choice for Rookie of the Year as I can recall in recent years. So, all praise to him. He's not going to surpass the first two guys in scoring average or votes. But been a lot of fun. Right now I've got Knipple 1, Flag 2, Edgecombe 3. The ballot goes 3 deep. If I had to cast it today, that's what it would be. We've got till the middle of April, and things could shift subtly over those first 2 spots.
Is there anyone that could sneak into 3? Like, is Ace Bailey doing enough in Utah? Is that a guy that could continue to sneak up your ladder?
The problem with that is if you move somebody else into 3, then you're moving Edgecombe out, and I think he's sort of earned that spot. If Ace Bailey has gotten better, almost month by month, and as the Jazz give him only as much as he can handle, that's how you keep a player away from failures and setbacks. Is you loosen the ropes a little at a time, and he really has improved. But I think at this point, given where Utah is or isn't on the NBA landscape, the standings, so near the bottom, and what they're playing for, the old saying is somebody's got to score on a bad team. So I don't know that he'll get a lot more attention by simply doing additional, scoring from what he's done already. Right. I don't know how much more he can open eyes and therefore climb up in the ratings, but he'll get votes, no doubt about it. I've said it a long time. A lot of the awards voting, people forget because they get the shorts in a bunch when they say, well, wait a minute, now this guy was every bit as good as that guy, or nearly so. And but the problem is when you cast a ballot, pretty much in any kind of voting, you cast a ballot, and if you think player A is a little better than player B, who's a little better than player C, well, if you get a bunch of voters, who think that that's the order, no matter how close it might seem, it could look like a runaway, right? Because more people will put player A because he's just a little bit better in their minds. You don't get sort of a bell curve because people don't say, well, I know that there's 10 guys that are going to vote for player A, therefore I'll vote for player B so that, he is more represented in the result totals. There have been some blowout Rookie of the Year balloting results. They use a point system, not just the vote totals. And it's simply because a lot of us thought this guy was slightly better than the next guy. Well, the next guy ended up not getting any first place votes at all, but he was right there. So, it can be really misleading. Plus, we live in an age where a lot of folks demand unanimity. They don't like that other people have a different opinion from theirs. And so, I don't know, maybe in sports that's fine because it generates conversation and discussion and even argument. It kind of extends to the real world a lot of times too, that you don't think like me, I don't like you anymore. Anyway, I'm going down a road here.
Yeah. Have you got time for one more, Steve?
Sure.
And I just wanted to kind of compare this and how you're talking about voting, because we see it in the NHL all the time with the voting that happens with awards here. And it's about the games that are played on the West Coast with the writers and the people that are voting out East that don't watch the games. To me, it doesn't make sense. If you're voting, you should be seeing all the games, and that should be your responsibility. But does that come into play? Is that a problem that you find in the NBA too?
I don't necessarily think so with the voting, Kevin. I think that the responsibility you speak of and the ability to record games and watch them in whole or in part, to watch truncated replays of games in order to see talent and what's going on, whether it's somebody's defense or a rookie or the guy off the bench or how a coach handles his team. I think the information is available enough. I don't think that it's a geographic thing. Now, with fans, with recruitment, of players for programs, for things that fans are involved in. I mean, the fan voting in the NBA, they're encouraged to vote for a lot of these things, but their vote counts as a small percentage of the final choices. Now, maybe during an All-Star game, the fans' vote might count more, but everybody's playing the same game at the same time. And so it's not a matter of, a rolling time zone audience drop off or anything. But no, I do think that's legit. I think that sometimes, as a fan, you might not appreciate, a player who's constantly playing the 10 p.m. game. If you live on the East Coast and they're out West, you just can't. I mean, I can't apply it to me as far as an NBA fan because I've had this overwhelming role of actually covering the league. But, I'm in bed. I live on the East Coast now, and I'm in bed by the time a lot of those West Coast baseball games, and I love baseball. But by the time they're, past the first inning or so, and, I'm not going to lie, I don't then backfill to, I'll look at a box score or a stats list, but I won't, actually go back and watch a game. And so, I would put my baseball fandom is probably, more favorable to the Eastern and Central time zones.
Right. Hey, Steve, thanks for the great insight. Really appreciate our conversations. Thanks for coming on as always, and hope to talk soon once the playoffs get rolling.
Kevin, you make it a rocking chair. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Steve. That's Steve Ashenber from NBA.com. And our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, your top defense pairing against leaks. That's MrRooter.ca. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440, and await the arrival of our co-host on Wednesdays, David Schlimco, for Cougar Paint and Collision. It's a Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Step up to the plate with confidence this season with St. Albert's Source for Sports, your trusted experts in baseball. From the diamond to the dugout, get the latest from top brands like Mizuno, Victus, Marucci, Rawlings, and Easton. Suit up with new cleats, helmets, pants, and don't forget the gloves, because champions know that every catch counts and every play matters. At St. Albert's Source for Sports, they know the game and they have the gear to prove it. St. Albert's Source for Sports, your source for baseball gear over 35 years.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Kevin Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. SKS has just left the studios here at West Edmonton Mall. I'm surprised to see him here this early, to be honest with you. And, on Fridays, the best thing on Fridays was if you look down there, SKS, Sean Smith, a salesperson, he's not even going to be close to being here at 11 bells, 12. When you get off the air with Fantasy Frenzy, long gone. Hey, I know how the sales departments work, Duke. Long gone. Text 833-401-1440. Levi says, hey, the fact that the stands weren't full in an under-seated arena and they are in a playoff spot, why did they even get a team? Okay, Chikai, Levi. First of all, this process was totally expedited to move this team from Phoenix in Arizona because it was nothing but bad news there. Nothing but bad news. And not just the last couple of years when they were at the Moulet Arena. It was bad news before that. Ownership was as bad as it could get. This was the best thing for the NHL and the only thing for the NHL, really, because they couldn't keep playing. It was 5,000 seats at the Mullet Arena. This was a good thing for the NHL, and it's only going to get better. The hype in Utah is way bigger than it is in Arizona. The NHL is going to go back to Arizona someday. It will. But it's got to go back to Phoenix. It can't go to Glendale, maybe Scottsdale, possibly. But they need a downtown arena, centralized. Utah is going to be just fine, Levi. And again, the Olympics are coming there in 2034. They're going to get a brand new building. They're going to have an ice district that is just as good as anywhere in the league. This is a good thing. And there's going to be some hurting times right now. And again, you expect some of the upper seats you can't see. It's just not made for hockey right now. So it is a better thing, Levi. A better thing. Oh, man. Matthew texts in, says the second goal doesn't happen if Darnell's out in front of the net, regardless of a bad bounce. Sorry, Matthew. Come on now. This is on the puck coming off the end boards. This is on Tristan Jarry not closing that puck coming off the end boards. This isn't on Darnell Nurse. Sorry. No, this is on Tristan Jarry. Kim says, BD, can you please make the playlist for Low Tides Twang Tuesday? You obviously are in the know about Twang Tuesday. You know what it's all about. And you're talking about Chuck Kershaw there.
Chucky Kershaw.
Clayton
I've never
Kershaw?
heard him called that.
Clayton Kershaw.
Is that what they call him?
Yeah,
They
Clayton.
call him Chucky?
I know. I'm just kidding.
That seems like another Kevin Karius nickname if I've ever heard it.
But that is a great song.
Oh, it's one of the best.
Yeah.
Could you imagine ever being called the Charlie Daniels of anything, Kevin, let alone the torque wrench?
Yes. Nail says, Google Canyon Ski Hill. It's close. It's as close to a mountain resort as you'll find outside the mountains. Duke grew up 15 minutes from there.
That conversation with you and Spec, I'm just sitting here biting my tongue because I don't want to interrupt. It's not my place. But you're just twisting my words and completely fabricating what I said. I never said I could still get out there and ski circles around you guys. I'm just saying that moving forward on a personal level, I don't expect to
I don't
ski
see
again.
it happening, Duke.
Buddy, I'm living it. And then also talking about I never called it a mountainous resort. I said compared to what you grew up on skiing in Saskatchewan, well renowned for its rolling hills.
The hill in Saskatchewan, Duke, is just as good as what you've skied on.
I doubt it.
I can guarantee it.
I doubt it.
Canyon
Ski Hill's beautiful place.
EG says, I've heard rumors that the Duke was the Lindsey Vaughn of Delburne.
Well, and if you get me back out there again, we might have something similar to what Lindsay had to suffer, unfortunately, in her Olympics.
Ivan says, Duke is
airlift me.
Duke is the hot rod of the slopes.
Yep, full tilt all the time. Have you seen that movie?
Which one?
Hot Rod. Like it was like SNL adjacent. It was never a skit on SNL. It was like Andy Samberg was the lead. Isla Fisher was the female. It's a stunt. He's a stunt man, like a small town stunt man. The opening scene, like, hey, did you guys secure the takeoff ramp? No, we didn't have time. Super. And then he just plows face first in the side of this van, trying to jump over top of it. All-time movie. One of my favorites. One of my very favorites.
Penhold Ryan says Canyon Hill is by far the best non-mountain resort in Canada.
I think that is what it is largely regarded as.
Canada's,
beautiful club, beautiful chalet.
Yeah.
Couple lifts, T-bar, terrain park. Got it all, man.
Dude,
night skiing.
let's be honest.
Skiing, Kev.
You care about one thing and one thing only, and that is the chalet where you have your 6-8 pops after your 2 runs. And that's
most of my skiing, Kevin, I drink more beer on the hill than I do in the chalet.
On the hill? What do you mean? Like
I ski with a backpack that's full of beer.
Why when you don't you have like a wine skin, Duke, or a flask?
No, he just got the backpack, the cans rolling around. So if the really hard wipeouts, you might accidentally pop 1 or 2 of them. And then you ever played Chase the Beer?
No.
That's when you get all your buddies at the top of like a nice wide open run, maybe the last one of the day, and you throw a beer can down, and whoever catches it gets to shotgun it. So you all chase it in a mad frenzy. It's a good way to get hurt.
Well, so have you ever seen a wineskin, Duke?
In real life, no.
Oh, Duke.
I think I only saw that on Game of Thrones.
That's what you need on the ski hill, Duke. It's light.
And then you got a flask in your pocket too with some schnapps or Fireball or something.
You know, when Spec and I went skiing, he had a little flask. It was like,
I bet he had some nice scotch and Coke in it.
It was terrible. Whatever he had.
Pre-mixed scotch and
whatever.
Coke.
And then he was like, what's his name from Dumb and Dumber, and stuck his tongue to the railing there and whatever. Top of the hour, we've got David Schlimco sliding in, our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265. That's 265-0165. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
last night in Utah, Edmonton Oilers emerged victorious, picking up big 2 points, 5-2 the final. Matt Savoy with a shorthanded goal. Connor McDavid reaching the 1,200-point plateau and scoring twice, including his 400th in the NHL. 14 of the games around the league, including the Leafs doubling up on Boston 4-2. Habs get past the Hurricanes 5-2. Red Wings drop 1 to Ottawa 3-2 the final. Kraken lose in a shootout to Florida 5-4. Lightning double up the Wild 6-3. Avalanche beat the Penguins 6-2. Jets top Vegas 4-1. And in the nightcap, Anaheim patted themselves atop first place in the Pacific, 5-3 winners over Vancouver. In the PWHL lone game, had Boston blanking Vancouver 2-0. And Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs continuing last night. Grand Prairie beat Lloydminster 6-3. Drumheller topping Camrose 4-2. Canmore over Calgary 5-2. And Whitecourt blanking Fort McMurray 4-0. In the association, just 4 games, including the Knicks beating New Orleans 121-116, and Nikola Jokic with 23 points lifts Denver to a 125-123 win over the Phoenix Suns. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Matt Larkin from Daily Faceoff and our Wednesday co-host, former NHL defenseman David Schlimco. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Hey, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59,900. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Want sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
This year, instead of a short winter getaway from the cold, what if you took a permanent winter getaway from your hair loss? Hi. I'm Dr. Vance Elliott, inviting you to come plan your winter transformation. I've helped thousands of Edmonton men and women get their hair and their confidence back. Many of them preferred the winter, Cooler temperatures are great for recovery, and winter hats can keep everything discreet. Trips are nice, but this winter, choose to invest in your vessel. Book a free consultation today at drvancelliot.com.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:05 in Edmonton. So glad you're with us on a Wednesday morning. The Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Man, we talked about yesterday and the massive 15-game slate. I didn't even bother asking Duke because I know he would go well over his 8-game threshold and not come out successful. But you had some doozies to pick from. And so, hey, a lot of ties. You got the overtimes. You got the shootouts. So maybe someone cashed a big ticket on Sports Select yesterday. All you got to do is go to sportselect.com, get the QR code. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Hey, it's Wednesday. That means it's 9 bells, and that means it's one thing and one thing only. Time to welcome in our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision, David Schlimco, powered by Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years. Part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Good morning, Schlemmer.
Morning, KK.
How you doing, big fella?
I'm well, buddy. How are you?
Oh, you're well. Schlemmer came in and, this is unbelievable. This snow out here, it's crazy. I can't get to the golf course. I've got
something like that.
I got to spend another 2 months in my simulator.
1 week, buddy. Palm Springs in a week.
You're going to Palm in a week?
Next Tuesday, 6 days.
What?
Yeah, baby.
So you're not here next Wednesday?
I'm sorry.
Holy cow, Duke. They're just leaving us. We got Eddie and that's it left. Right? Next week? Oh boy, we got to figure this out.
It's be a light week next week. The co-hosts.
Well, Laddie's in check.
Well, Laddie's always gone.
I know. And then so Eddie, Monday and Friday.
All right, bud.
Well,
I'll have to make do.
You'll have fun.
I'll have a great time.
The reason I was watching was just we were watching Tiger on the TGL thing, and I don't know. I wasn't watching any of it, but
I had a bit of it on last night. They lost.
A short
right?
putt here and
was it the final they lost last night?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow it.
I think it was.
Yeah, but he just missed like a 2-footer and then slammed the carpet or whatever. That's not good for the hydraulics under there, Tiger.
Hey, he's a winner.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we've been talking about Duke's skiing prowess.
I heard that on the way in.
Yeah, and I got called dumb from IMAC because I said, well, I would never take beer in a knapsack. I would take a wineskin or a flask, and then I would have a beer. I'm not carrying beer around in a knapsack.
Makes sense.
IMAC says, you're dumb. First run you hit, you find a tree, you mark that tree, you bury your beer pack. Geez, bud, you call yourself a Flatlander? Duke says he'd never find that bag again. Lost in the wilderness. I don't know. Do you ski?
Yeah, I like skiing.
Yeah.
I had a long break from it while I was playing.
For sure.
But no, I love skiing. Yeah, it's a good time.
Did you have it in your contract that you couldn't ski?
Well, it's not.
I know it's the same time of the year.
I think it's kind of like the same blanket statement in every contract saying like, it's not saying you can't ski, but if you do something like that and get hurt, that they don't technically have to pay you.
What about water skiing? Like that's the big, I heard that one.
I didn't do that growing up.
Oh, okay.
I've never, I feel like I tried to get up on a wakeboard once, like a few times, couldn't do it and just never tried again.
And now every NHLer's got a place in the shoe swaps in Kelowna, right? So
true, yeah. Everyone's on the lake now.
Yeah. I mean, they might as well just get, if some NHLers decided to get in the houseboat business, How about shoe swaps? I mean, that's all they would need because they're all there anyway.
True.
Yeah.
Some good summer skates in Kelowna.
That's right. Yeah.
For sure.
So what do you think of the game last night, Schlemmer?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
If you're an Oiler fan,
Mm-hmm.
going back to in or out last week, I think one of the questions from Duke was this like top to bottom one of the best games we've seen from the Oilers? And I didn't agree last week.
That was the San Jose game.
That was the San Jose game.
Yeah.
Didn't agree last week, but last night that was top to bottom a pretty good effort.
Mm-hmm. I was like, that they have the game. We've seen it, but we haven't seen it for longer periods of time. So that's the next step, I guess.
I saw a real commitment to defending in the D zone, right? Not cheating for offense, not getting caught with our head not on a swivel, guy jumping by us, boxing out, playing from the inside out. And it all sounds simple, but they did a really good job of it, man. Shot suppression. How many shot blocks did they have just by being in good position?
Yeah, they had 24 block shots. They had 9 in the first period. To me, the first period was totally suffocating. The second got a little crazy there with
it. Did.
But
it's kind of boring, honschly. But
sure, that's what you want.
As an Oiler fan, that's what we've been asking for all year, man.
You know what? I'll be honest with you, Schlemmer. So after the first period, and even before those 2 goals were scored, I was going like it's probably 10 minutes, and I was going, okay, people are going to text in tomorrow and go, man, this is boring. That was such a boring game last night.
Right.
I was like, come on, this is what they need. They got to start playing like this and play boring and then pounce on their chances.
And then when all those goals happen in a minute, you're like, okay, here we go. We're back to Oiler hockey.
43 seconds, 3 goals. So I talked to Speck and asked him the same question, and I brought it up at the start that the first goal, the Ty Emerson pass out of the corner. That's how.
It all starts off of that. Yeah. Man, I've been saying that. I've been waiting 2 years for the kid to make this play up the middle on the breakout. He's finally got the confidence, and man, he's playing unbelievably well.
So normally in that position, run us through. He wasn't getting a lot of pressure, but there's bodies around him.
There's a guy coming right down the wall on him, right? So, I mean, 3 months ago, Ty Emerson, he doesn't have the confidence to make that play. He's just eating it there. If the guy's coming down the wall, maybe he's trying to like jam it up the wall to the winger, probably to a pinching D. It's just another extended shift in the D zone.
That's what they call that's your problem now. It's not mine anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. That's winger's worst nightmare right there. Yeah. That rolling rim in your feet when the D's coming pinching on you. So no, I had that in my notes here. That goal all starts with him, right? And a great job of Wallman too to activate there and doesn't just kick the puck out. He middle drives hard, pushes the D back, and they end up getting the goal.
I said for me on that one play, Wallman reminded me of last year.
Yeah.
Just
that's your boy.
One play.
Your boy.
Yeah, he was my boy last year. And I mean, he was my boy last year. And I don't like saying it like that, but I mean, he played well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really gone from what the hell was Steve Ashenber doing? Attaching a draft pick and sending him to San Jose to this was a steal of a pick or a steal of a trade with the pick that the Oilers gave the first rounder.
Right.
To this year going, holy cow. Now we see what Steve Ashenber saw. To now where he's got to get back to what.
How old is he?
28.
Okay, so he's been around long enough that he should be able to find a consistency to his game.
He's had some injuries. Okay?
Yeah, that's
but
true.
The confidence, he's not there with the confidence. Pardon me, he's 30. Check.
Okay.
30. That's why that contract all the way to 2033 raised some eyebrows, right?
Yeah,
because he's going to be 37.
Also thought we should talk about the Oilers' third and fourth line.
Sure.
And the third period last night. The Dickinson line and the Henrique line were both unbelievable. Nice to see Knobber use him a little bit more too. But I mean, obviously you got to earn that ice time. I think having Rico in the 4-hole gives Knobber the ability to use all those guys a little bit more. I don't think Jarventi and Jones maybe see that much ice.
Yeah.
He doesn't trust Rico that much out there. But Dickinson line was great all night too, I thought.
He has the ability again, like he's played with a lot of guys since he's got here.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like the Jones and Henrique and even, when Frederick was healthy, they were starting to create something like a bit of an identity. That fourth line was getting an identity. Now it's still looking for one because who knows? Like I said, Jarventi's there on the fourth line. James Hamlin could draw in tomorrow. And
could do the same thing.
He's just not as big as Jarventi, but and then like Szymanski hasn't looked out of place at all.
No, he's been good.
So I mean, he can rove around. I still want to get back to where McDavid's playing with Savoy and Hyman.
Yeah.
I just would rather have what's the number one constant here since Zach Hyman's almost basically arrived? Their best 1-2 punch on any line. Take away Connor and Leon, and even 5-on-5, they're not that good together. But put Connor and Leon, Connor and Zach Hyman together, and that's always been that one constant. And
so would you have Savvy on the left?
Yes, I would have. Yeah. I would have Savoy, Hyman, and Connor, and then I would, to be honest with you, right now with Leon out, I'd have Roslovic, Nugent Hopkins, and Dickinson, and then figure it out. I like Szymanski and put Golzin and Kapanen, and then the fourth line you figure out who's healthy and whatever.
Szymanski up the middle with Golzin and Kapanen.
Yeah,
oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, and they were together for a couple games. So,
but I do. I like the way they rolled the four lines last night, though. Those depth guys did a good job of eating up a bunch of minutes and not just eating minutes, but actually having some quality shifts.
Bouchard last night. I mean, some passes again. Crazy. You know what? There was in the first period, he came out in front of the net there. Because there was a guy on his ass, and he tried to beat a guy right in front, lost the puck. Trying to make a play. They were not hemmed up, and they only gave up a questionable shot. But up until then, they had given up nothing in the first period. And I was going, okay, easy, Bush.
Those are the ones that you don't want to end up in the back of your net, right?
You've given up nothing.
Right.
And there was that one play. But other than that, I mean, he was dynamite, JJ.
Oh, he's just so good with the puck. Yeah. I mean, that shorthanded goal by Savvy, like everyone in the building thought he's shooting that puck. Like just his deception is pretty second to none.
And I mean, Savoy, I'll be honest, like I thought that was a bad goal by Vejmelka because I mean, it sort of just snuck through him.
He's just desperation stretching back across, right? Yeah, he got a little lucky on the shot.
Yeah, like it's not like, as you call him, savvy. He's not picking that spot. He's getting it on net.
Right.
Because plus
bang, bang.
And when you would ever, if you join the play shorthanded, what was your immediate thing? Better get
back. I don't know if Evan's thinking that though.
But if you look at him, he's kind of thinking, okay, I'm getting back.
Turn and get back.
Because this ain't, I'm not part of the offense here anymore.
Right.
Like I was, but now I'm getting back. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, Bush is just a treat to watch with the puck. Let's be honest. I mean, unless it's one of the turnovers that end up in the back of the net, 99% of the time he's making a pretty slick play with the puck.
When we come back, we'll check in with our old pal Matt Larkin from the Daily Faceoff. Also, Julian McKenzie from The Athletic covers the Ottawa Senators. Sens are rolling 2 big wins in basically 2 nights.
They're hot.
Carter Yakimchuk scores a big goal. He's a Calgary guy. He played all his minor hockey in Calgary and
like a big
hitman,
big offensive
he's
stud.
A big guy. And you know what? Like those, like he's 20, and you see those guys that are still like I'm betting he's got like a little bit of baby fat on him. You know the whole bet.
Oh yeah.
So you think once this guy starts to get ripped,
I've heard he's like an Evan Bouchard with size,
and
so that's scary.
Well, I think he's 6'3", 215, 220.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Bush is 6'3", too.
Is he?
I think so. Yeah, Bush is bigger than you think. Maybe he's 6'2". Maybe
I don't think he's 6'3".
Okay. When we come back, Matt Larkin from the Daily Faceoff. It's the Kevin Carey Show with David Schlimco, the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
This jersey was worn by the legend himself, signed and everything. You can't just wear it. I'm framing it with expressions and images.
Your prized jersey deserves better than the closet. Think expressions and images. Your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold to the vent, start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
That's 2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at KumaOutdoorGear.com.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
Your game,
Your station, Sports 1440.
and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:22 in Edmonton, and time now for the game of the day. Brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here, and they're going fast. Great selection, great colors to pick from. $49,900 gets you behind the wheel. A brand new Jeep Gladiator for under $50K. Check it out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back Matt Larkin from the Daily Faceoff. Morning, Matt. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer, David Schlimco. Thanks, as always, for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Kevin, David, good to be back on with you fellas.
Hey, I always love when you write a column or an article or whatever, and it starts out, hear me out. because of the the noise that happens with the Pacific Division, or that's been happening all season long, and everyone out east bitching and whining about how bad it is, but they forget about how bad some of their divisions were bad too in recent memory. But the line, hear me out, are we sleeping on Pacific Division teams as Stanley Cup threats? Please expand on this, Matt.
Well, it's funny. I was doing the research for this article, and the original headline just was, "Are we sleeping on Pacific Division teams as Stanley Cup threats?" And then Connor McDavid uttered the pillow fight line. And I thought, oh, geez, okay, I'm really going to have to qualify this one. So I added to hear me out.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making is I've been doing a series looking at commonalities in terms of the past 10 Stanley Cup champions, what traits they had. And one of them was a really strong differential in expected goals. And I was going through the numbers for this year to see which teams had the best expected goal differentials this year. And I was surprised to see there were 4 Pacific Division teams in the top 10. And we think, how is this possible? I thought the Pacific is a joke. That's supposedly the narrative. But what we have when you look at Anaheim, LA, Edmonton, Vegas, who are all in that top 10, they are all teams that, yes, are flawed, obviously, the way the season has gone. They would have to be. But they all are strong in many areas and mainly have a single flaw that's holding them back. So Vegas, for example, and Edmonton, it's goaltending. They cannot get a save. They're at the bottom of the NHL in goaltending, 30th and 31st, I believe. And the LA Kings are pretty good defensively. They can't finish. The Ducks are good offensively. They can't defend. So the reason why it's important to single out is that all of these teams do have a lot of strong traits, and their shortcomings could be masked in a small sample size, aka a playoff series. That really applies to Edmonton and Vegas. Basically, Edmonton and Vegas, if they can get a save, they can be low-key pretty dangerous in the playoffs, especially in Edmonton's case, because since Paul Coffey came back behind the bench, their overall defensive play has been better. So that's why I think it is accurate, actually, to say that we're sleeping on the Pacific Division teams, because they have struggled in certain areas, but they're not terrible through and through.
So it's a good thing the Oilers have really nailed down who their number one goalie is, hey?
Yeah, is it? I was joking the other day. Did you ever imagine you'd be longing for the glory days of Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickett?
Right.
You know, I look at it too, and I've said this, Matt, for quite a while here. This year, when you look at the Oilers, and I'm just speaking on the Oilers here, and I know you group these other Pacific Division teams in there, but this year, this could be the easiest path that the Oilers have had since 2017 to get to the conference finals. And that's a simple fact.
I don't 100% agree. It's really going to depend on how things play out, because of the Oilers. I mean, it really depends a lot on the LA Kings and maybe the Sharks, but it's mainly the Kings. But if the Kings could catch them, there's still a scenario in which the Oilers could drop down into a wild card spot, and then your matchup gets tougher. It's not inconceivable mathematically that they could end up still drawing Colorado, depending on how the next few weeks play out, which would be a hell of a first-round series. But as we see things right now, yes, I think that's a fair way to put it. Edmonton and Vegas, that would be the matchup if the playoffs started today. And it would kind of be a mirror match. It would be two teams that do a lot of things well, but can't get a save. So I think we'd get some fire wagon hockey, a lot of 6-5 games.
Yeah, I'm only basing it on if they stay in the Pacific Division bracket, Matt.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then obviously there's a scenario in which even if they dropped out of the bracket, you could also draw Anaheim, which would be a very fascinating first-round series too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of some of those teams, let's talk about Anaheim. What's going on with Mason McTavish? A couple health bombs last week. I know he scored last night, but what's going on with him there?
Yeah, it really feels like the writing's on the wall, right? For a player who seemed like a trade candidate in the offseason, and there have been some contentious contract negotiations, and now that spills over into the season, and you have so many different Ducks players breaking out, whether it's Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlsson having phenomenal years. And it seems like Mason McTavish has not taken that step forward and found a way to complete his game. At the same time, he has a lot of skills that would really attract other teams, right? He's got that power forward skill set, and he showed a lot of clutch ability as a junior to kind of be a dog on a bone in big games. Mm-hmm. So I do think it may play out this way repeatedly for the rest of the season, where it's going to be kind of a back and forth with Joel Quenneville and sort of a not distrust, but an inability to rely on him as one of your go-to guys. But in the offseason, to me, he's someone you have to watch really carefully, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a trade.
That's interesting, because he was supposed to be a cornerstone of the franchise.
That's what I was going to say. He's got a letter and everything, right? That's a big fall off there.
Hey, I want to slip out east now, Matt. And I talked about it off the top here. I don't think that he will get too many votes as coach of the year, but Rick Bowness, since he took over in Columbus, I mean, the team was in last place at Christmas, and now they have the potential of hosting a home playoff series to start things off. This is one of the most remarkable turnarounds that we've seen in a long, long time here.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And you could say, yes, Jet Greaves has been fantastic in net, and that can often buoy a team, but it's beyond that. Even if you look under the hood, the Blue Jackets are playing really good defensive hockey. I think they're just a sneaky, deep team, right? You have Charlie Coyle on your third line. Right now you have Boone Jenner. If you go up the middle, you have Adam Fantilli, Sean Monahan, Charlie Coyle, and Boone Jenner. That's great depth at center. And you have a lot of heart and soul players. You added Connor Garland. You traded for Mason Marchment. I think this team is quite deep, and I think people do sleep on Jet Greaves as a great goalie. He's not a big goalie, but he's a really athletic goalie. He's having a fantastic season. So to me, they're one of the more intriguing teams to watch. And I think if they can hold on and make the playoffs, they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah. How about another team a little bit on fire in the East, the Ottawa Senators? I think they got points in 17 of their last 20. Maybe even Travis Green an outside shot at the Jack Adams. What do you think of Ottawa's chances of getting in? Are they kind of peaking at the right time?
I do think Travis Green is a legitimate Jack Adams candidate because the Senators have been the best defensive team in the league at 5-on-5 all year, and just horrific goaltending. Bottom of the league goaltending had held them back. Also, strangely, for such a good defensive team, they've been terrible on the penalty kill this season, right at the bottom of the league there as well. But overall, they have so many good habits that it was going to feel weird to see them not make the playoffs. And now they're finally over that line. Doesn't mean they're going to stay, but I do think their style of play is sustainable, and they're going to be a tough team to beat. They're going to be a pretty difficult draw in round one because even Linus Ullmark has had a bad year, but we know he's a Vezina Trophy winner, and he could get hot for a short stretch and be great in a single playoff series. So Senators, to me, are one of the more intriguing teams. We did a piece on Daily Faceoff where we all picked which team on the bubble would be the scariest round one opponent. I voted for Columbus. It was last week, but someone else on the staff voted for Ottawa, and I can totally see the logic.
Both good picks.
Yeah, Matt Larkin with us from the Daily Faceoff. Kevin Karius, David Schlimco with you. Staying out east, do you think the Montreal Canadiens are for real? Do they have enough size? I mean, they've got some great young players. For them, it's goaltending again. That's the big question mark, like it was with Ottawa for most of the season here, Matt.
Yeah, and I can drop a little spoiler. It's a piece I have coming out next week in the Stanley Cup Ingredients series, but I'm looking at the correlation between trade deadline deals and Stanley Cups. And pretty much every team that wins the Stanley Cup in the last decade or in the cap era makes at least one upgrade at the deadline. And if you look at every single contender that was in buyer mode this past March 6th, the Habs are the only team that didn't make a trade, that didn't add a piece. Yes, you can say they got Philip Deneau in December, but he's playing lower in the lineup. And I do worry, even though the Habs are a really exciting team, their future is unbelievably bright. I think they're set up to win for years to come. I wish they would have gone out and gotten that legitimate second line center. I think Nazem Kadri would have been perfect. But the problem is with the playoff cap rule now, right? You can't do the LTIR loophole. It really held Montreal back from getting the piece they needed because they couldn't move Patrick Laine. They had to get rid of that cap hit. Under the previous rules, they could have just thrown him on LTIR, no big deal. And I do think it cost Montreal the ability to add the piece they needed, whether it was the center or, like you guys said, the goaltender. So I'm still excited for the Habs, but I do think they're missing some key pieces. So if you look at that Atlantic Division, I'm definitely more bullish on Buffalo and Tampa Bay.
For sure.
A couple top prospects making their NHL debut last night: Carter Yakimchuk in Ottawa and Anton Frondel in Chicago. Any feedback on how they did?
I'm just very intrigued by both players for different reasons. Carter Yakimchuk, to me, is kind of like, I don't know if Dion Phaneuf would be the comparison, but he's someone who has a lot of boom to his game, whether it's on the offensive side of the puck, but also physicality. So he's raw, but obviously the Senators, they're so shorthanded, having lost Thomas Chabot and Jake Sanderson's been banged up too. They need a spark there, and I don't think there's any doubting Yakimchuk's tools. So he's an intriguing player, but I'm especially excited, and obviously Frondel looked good, got a point in his first game, Anton Frondel. He has such a pro-ready game that, we can look at the draft next year. There's going to be a lot of talk of, is Gavin McKenna going to be the the Calder Trophy top candidate. But to me, Anton Frondel is going to be someone to really watch for Rookie of the Year next year, because he just plays such a man's game, mature game, grown man game, I should say. He does so many different things well that I think he's someone who's going to get a lot of ice time right away when he plays his first full season in the NHL next year.
What do you think Chicago is going to do here, Matt? Because they have probably the best young talent that's NHL ready or playing in the NHL as far as the amount of 22 and under players, call it that. But is there too many of them? Do they got to start bringing in maybe some older guys to nurture these guys, or are they ready to make the playoffs next year?
I do think it's time to move. And to me, it's funny. I can give you another spoiler. We have a piece coming out where we're picking which team we think is going to make the playoffs next year that isn't in, and the Blackhawks are my pick. Mm-hmm. And the reason being, just as you're saying, Kevin, they've reached that critical mass. Their farm system is absolutely overflowing with young talent, right? They have so many players, you can't possibly get every single one of them onto the roster. So I think you're going to be in a situation like we saw with Buffalo, where they sacrificed Matt Savoy to bring in Ryan McLeod, because eventually you just have to say, okay, we have enough kids. We need some veterans. We need to move the clock forward, especially for Connor Bedard. So I would be very disappointed if I'm a Blackhawks fan, if the Hawks are not really active this offseason and don't try to make some bold moves. I think that would be a failure, because it's time. You got the cap space, you got the prospects, you have Connor Bedard on the precipice of superstardom. He's taken a step forward this year. It's time to push forward and break through next year.
Well, this might age me a little bit, but it kind of reminds me of the situation where the Hawks were before they won their cups.
Kane and Taves.
Right? Like they had all these prospects. They traded Barker, Byfuglien, and Versteeg the one summer right before they started winning all those cups, and probably added some vets.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, I think Cam Barker for sure. I think Byfuglien and Versteeg were on the 2010 team, if I remember correctly.
Okay,
that was
yeah,
more,
you're right.
They were
You're
more
right.
when
They were after.
Yeah, when the cap casualties began, where they had to take apart the team every year. Maybe it was Andrew Ladd that I think they had to move.
That's
the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's right. But I think you're right. And they made their coaching change. They brought in Joel Quenneville at the time, right? They got rid of Danny Savard, sort of pushed the kids forward, and they realized, okay, we need to make a push. Yeah, so I do see how history could be repeating itself with the Hawks, and it's just time. You reach that point where you need to push forward. And I do look at Connor Bedard's career trajectory kind of like Nathan McKinnon, and year 4 was when McKinnon took the massive leap, right, when he was 22. So I think it's going to be fascinating to see if that happens with Bedard and Chicago next year.
Yeah, and they get a couple guys, they got the Russian over there. And, yes, I mean, who? So they got some pieces for sure. So if Chicago's one of those teams in the West for you, man, are the Maple Leafs the team that you think will make the playoffs next year out east?
It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel very optimistic. It's hard because they're just a franchise in such transition right now. My answer could be different in a month. It's going to depend a lot on whether they get that first round pick, whether it goes to Boston. People have to remember, yes, the Leafs could finish outside the bottom 5, but they're still in the lottery. If they win the pick, then they keep the pick this year, right? Mm-hmm. So if the Leafs win the lottery and they pick Gavin McKenna or Ivar Stenberg, that's going to change their trajectory, of course. Also, what they do with their front office is Brad Treliving still the general manager. He has sort of brought in a doctrine of bigger, older, slower. It worked last year in the playoffs, but overall it's brought the team down. They don't win nearly as many regular season games, and they're just a lot less talented now than they were at the end of the Kyle Dubas era, right? So I don't know. I think the window is closing or has closed, unless they get really lucky with those ping pong balls.
What's the worst case scenario? To go in the 6 hole?
I think so, yeah. And that makes last night's, do you call it a win or a loss?
Yeah.
The winner, the loser against Boston? Yeah. I think that would be the ultimate kick in the pants for sure, which would be very Leafs.
Would that be something? Matt, as always, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. We'll be looking forward to those couple of articles that you have coming out on the Daily Faceoff. As always, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, guys.
That's Matt Larkin from the Daily Faceoff. Game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are going fast. Check it out at stalbertdodge.com. Schlemmer, I like it when he talks about the Pacific, but hear me out, and he's talking about stats and everything like that. I look at, and yes, the Oilers aren't playing like they were last year.
No, not yet.
That's right. But the pieces are there.
Yep.
The goaltending is needs to up its game. The goaltending at this stage of the season compared to this year to last year was better last year.
It was, but it wasn't great, right?
The
Oilers have never had great goaltending. They don't need great goaltending to win.
So hear me out again here. If I'm get through the Pacific or whatever, let's just say if you were, say you're Colorado or Dallas or even Minnesota. I mean, let's use Colorado and Dallas. If they somehow were to play the Oilers in the first round, I don't think they'd be tickled pink here.
No,
just like
it's not the matchup they're looking for.
Pretend Florida was a little bit better and we're challenging to get into a number 1 or 2 wild card seed. Do you think those teams that are winning those divisions are going, all right, we got wild card number 2, but it's Florida? No,
absolutely not.
That's why this is almost the way the Oilers are flying under the radar right now. The way the Pacific Division is flying under the radar, I think it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's the easiest path that they have to the Western Conference Final in a long time.
Since in 2017, when they were a Ryan Kessler goaltender interference away from going clean play, from going to the Stanley Cup semifinals. And then you think about the route that they had to take. I mean, LA's been tough on them. They could have easily beat the Oilers last year.
Yep.
Vegas, incredibly tough. They beat them and go on to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I mean, they get hot and playing the right way. Like, they could easily take care of the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. I mean, you can't look past it.
No,
you still got to build on it and get the process, continue that process to get there. But if you were to say, this is how it's looking for you to get to the conference final,
the road's got a few less potholes this year.
Oh. Hey, speaking of, I'll tell you what, for all our listeners, if you got nothing to do today, come down to the Sports 1440 studios here at West Edmonton Mall. But take 87th Avenue. Take 87th Avenue to where the LRT is being built. And if you can go probably from 156th Street to 178th, just please come on down and see us. If you make it here.
With all your tires intact.
If you have your rims left, if you have your undercarriage left.
It's that bad, eh?
It is. There are roads, whatever's going on in Iran and Afghanistan that get bombed. The roads are better there than what we have on 87th Avenue right now. When we come back, we'll go in or out. I don't know if that'll be an in or out question for number 5. I could just imagine. It's the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco. You said potholes, Schlemmer, man. Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. Presented by Sports Select. Hey, we're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, family incorporates everyone.
I mean, the staff at Cougar are the cogs in the wheel. If you've got 1 or 2 wheels that aren't rolling with the other one, then you're not going to have a smooth operation. Everybody that we have at the shop really enables us to continue to help Edmontonians. We just try and help people get their cars back on the road, and it's the people that work for you that are going to allow you to be successful.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
The weather doesn't care about your shift or your schedule. Carhartt Rain Defender sweatshirts let you battle back against the ever-changing elements. Carhartt's durable, water-repellent technology lets light rain beat up and roll right off. Layer up and stay on the job longer without getting drenched. Get your Carhartt Rain Defender sweatshirts at all 3 of our Edmonton job site workwear locations.
Job site workwear, tough different jobs.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:45 in Edmonton. Text 833-401-1440. Just before you get to in or out, BC Oilers says, I was glad I was driving a rental car down on 87th Avenue. Guy says, I drove it last week. I did think that the bombs did fall. Tiger, I think the city lets us down by allowing contractors to give us very poor temporary roads that in reality we drive on for 2 years. Correct.
Bang on.
It's a mess. Jay in Victoria says, Kev, I'm trying to convince my wife to move back to Alberta or to Alberta. I think she's from out there, if I'm not mistaken, Jay. You're not helping with the road reports. Ha, ha, ha. It's not fun down here, fellas. It's not a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you looked out my window this morning, you wouldn't be moving from Victoria.
Time now for Are You In or Out? Brought to you by Pro Solutions. If you need fast AC service, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, Letterbuck.
Edmonton Oilers picking up a big 2 points last night in Utah. Matt Savoy scoring a shorthanded goal and an impressive individual effort on the PK. Moving down the stretch of the season, Leon Draisaitl not expected to return to the lineup. I think Matt Savoy has earned the right to be riding shotgun with Connor McDavid the rest of the way.
Well, I'm in, but with the caveat that I need to see Zach Hyman there too.
You're only allowed to be there if Zach Hyman's also there.
Oh, I just think that that's a line that has something there.
Yeah.
There's something there. And I mean, Savoy's continually improving on all areas of his game. Defensively, man, we talked about it last week, Schlimmer. Like, he might not win every puck battle that's in a corner or along the boards, but it's almost like he's going to get 50-50.
That second effort, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a dog on the puck. What's the question exactly? Okay, full time down the stretch. I don't know if I'm in for full time down the stretch. He's got to keep earning it, but the way he's played lately, he has every right to be there. I think whoever McDavid wants to play with is going to be there as well. So as long as he keeps playing the way he is, he'll be there.
Yeah. I just think, like, and we had a couple texters even earlier with Podkolzin being there, and he's had a great season. I just think that his fit is better tuned with other players, including Leon.
Yeah.
Or whether it's Kapanen and
A little more of-
Szymanski or whatever
A
it
little
is.
more of like that power
Yeah.
game, hang on to pucks, where
Mhm.
like McDavid and Savvy, they're just electric out there.
Well, we talked about this too. I mean, when Jack Roslovic played with Connor and or Leon at times, he would be one of the few guys that didn't give them the puck immediately.
Yeah.
Would try to make a play and hold on to the puck a little bit more.
And you're
And that's what I see from.
You're starting to see that with Savvy,
That's
right?
right. So
Like last night, that I think it was like the first period, but he got a pass from Ekholm right at the blue line there in the middle, and he took a couple steps over and just ripped a shot.
Yeah.
All right. Like, you would have never seen that a couple
Mm-hmm.
months ago if he's on McDavid's line. He's not shooting that puck from distance. He's looking to kick it out, find him wherever he is.
because you go to the bench and what happens? The guy, Connor or Leon, look at you and they're going, give me the puck,
Feed me.
and as a young guy, what do? You don't want to piss him off.
You feed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just without Leon in the lineup, I think it becomes pretty critical that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is playing on a different line just to try and balance the lineup a little bit further and give those bottom two lines some more character, as you kind of alluded to earlier, Schlemmer. And as a result, if he's not the one riding shotgun, and I'm right there with you, Kevin. I think Zach Hyman is the obvious and crucial fit to what makes that top line maybe the best in hockey. And yeah, Matt Savoy isn't Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, but he kind of profiles out as a similar type player in his two-way game, the ability to be like a heady player, smart, be in the right place at the right time. So I like the fit. I like it a lot. And if you're looking ahead to the playoffs, assuming the Oilers do in fact hold on to one of these spots, then you're going to need contributions from him even when Leon's back in. So why not keep the opportunity and the confidence going, playing alongside the world's very best. Tristan Jarry won his first game in a start since January 26th last night, and what I would describe as a solid, if unspectacular, effort last night. I don't think it's enough to take the crease away. I'm looking back at Connor Ingram as a scheduled start for both of the next two against Vegas and Anaheim.
See, I'm out on this one, Duke. And I said this earlier with the texture. I don't know where you are with this one. I see a split here, and a lot of that has to do with an afternoon game on Saturday. Maybe that comes into play because you're traveling back from Vegas. I don't know what kind of practice schedule would be on Friday. Who knows? There's nothing on Saturday for sure. But I see a split in these two. I don't know how I would go about it, but if you had the confidence, it's not like you were running. Like, you weren't running Ingram into the ground here, were you?
No.
Played 5 in a row. Whoop-de-doo.
Exactly, but
so he has.
So he shouldn't be worn out.
That's what I'm saying. So, but you had confidence to put Jarry in a game that you had to win last night.
Like, for me, what's happening right now is they're just waiting for one of these guys to grab a hold of this thing and take it.
Mhm.
Right. And then you're going to ride the hot hand. It could be a split. Maybe Ingram gets both. For me, like, Jarry just doesn't instill a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a blocker. I mean, like, besides that one double pad stack he made that one game, like, that's the only reactionary save I've seen him make since he got here. He's very well structured, well positioned. He's gonna like hit his butterfly. If the puck hits him, it hits him. If it doesn't, it's like going in. It's kind of what I see.
I said earlier, I think right now his legs and pads aren't quiet enough. They're all over the map for me.
Okay.
I get it. I get where you're saying you're not confident in them, but I see this as a split, these two games.
I'm not saying I'm super confident in Ingram either.
Fair.
I just go back to, and yeah, what are we, a week, 2 weeks since Chris Knoblauch said, like he said, Connor Ingram's the team starting goalie right now. And down the stretch of the season, like, Jari had put in an effort last night where the first goal, nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's a couple terrible bounces, but Kevin, we've talked about it and we had a few texters push back. I think that power play goal is 100% on him. Like that is a play.
Absolutely.
It's a bit of a tough angle the way it comes in towards the side of the net, but as a goalie, you have to make a play on that puck to keep it below the goal line and not right out into between the hash marks for as easy of a goal as a team will score on the power play. So it's a little bit of a tough break, but he made a few good stops last night. But keep in mind that the effort the Oilers put it in front of him was probably the best he has seen since becoming an Edmonton Oilers. So I'm not ready. I'm not ready to immediately say one win under his belt is enough to all of a sudden start handing him every second game again. I still think it's Ingram's net to lose. And while he hasn't run away with it, he hasn't done anything to necessarily give it back to Tristan Jarry, in my eyes, necessarily at this point. But moving around to the rest of the NHL, it's that time of year. We see several college and Euro players make their NHL debuts, signing some entry-level contracts. Anton Frundell last night. James Haggins is currently on an AHL PTO with the Providence Bruins. Cole Hudson already debuting for the Washington Capitals. Cole Yzerman signing in New York with the Islanders as well. They are all the headliners so far. And next up, I think the most anticipated we will see following Michigan State's either departure or run all the way through the NCAA playoffs is Porter Martone with the Philadelphia Flyers.
Is Haggins going to make his NHL debut? Or
well,
are they going
he's
that
got
back?
to sign
first.
I'll be honest. I was trying everything in my heart to get a Bruins beat reporter on with us at 10:20 today, but they were playing last night and couldn't connect with anybody until too late because I wanted to hear on that. The report are that he's going to Providence and is going to play, and then at that point they'll decide if he's going to sign.
Like Charlie McAvoy.
So, exactly. It's what they did with McAvoy, who made his NHL debut in a playoff game.
So why do they do that? Why do they just do the PTO first?
I don't
understand that. But
is it because he's already property of the team?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like he's a draft pick. A PTO to me is like
yeah,
those are the
like
guys at camp.
If he's your first round pick, like you're going to sign him. No, why not just sign him?
Is it because of a year that they might have contract?
Oh, maybe that has something to do with it. Burning a year or something. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, you like Porter Martone, huh, dude?
I do. This was a guy that I really fell in love with the leading up to the draft last year. I thought the Flyers got him as a steal of a player. Kind of profiles out as that Broad Street bully type guy. He's got a man's body already, 1 year of NCAA under his belt. I think this is a prime target to jump in and help the Flyers for whatever redeems of a late playoff push or just get a couple games in NHL experience before becoming full-time next year.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how he does. I think should fit in with the Philly style perfectly, like you say.
There's a guy that just screams Rick Tocchet
exactly
all over him,
right?
So,
I didn't love him at the World Juniors, so I'm interested to see how his foot speed and his pace work out at the pro game. But yeah, we'll see. He's got a lot of talent.
Yeah, I'm into Duke. Again, World Juniors, little taste, and to see him at this level, and the other thing too, if you think all these, I guess with the exception of what are we looking at, like Hagen's, Boston's still sniffing around here. Rondell, they've got an opportunity to give him some runway.
I really think Cole Yzerman might get some serious look here with the Islanders. Yeah. Like this is a guy that scores.
Say he's a goal scorer, man. They could use that,
and they're a team that can always use a little bit more of that. Now they made pretty good efforts at the deadline and before that to shore up depth and things. So who does he push out of the lineup to try and get into a role? To be determined, I suppose. But yeah, I'm excited to see a lot of these guys make the debut. And we already saw Frundell, Hudson, both getting points in their first games.
Hudson was good. Hey?
And here's an interesting one that I think Michigan's the top ranked team in the country. They could be going all the way to the national championship. But Michael Hage, Montreal Canadiens top prospect. We just finished talking with Matt Larkin about the Habs. They didn't really go and add, say, a legitimate second line center. That's a lot of pressure to put on this guy coming out of his college time to step in and try and help a playoff team in your top six. But this is another guy he's not small, he's not slow, he does a lot of things really well that maybe he can have an impact at the NHL level.
He was like, I thought, one of the top forwards at the World Juniors.
I would agree for sure. And he's I don't know if he finished as a Hobey Baker finalist or just outside of it, but he was excellent, of course, for, like I said, the top ranked Wolverines in NCAA this season. Switching over to the major leagues of baseball, it's technically opening day with just one game tonight. It's on Netflix, actually, in case that tickles your fancy in any way, shape, or form.
Does, how we have games on Netflix and Prime and all that stuff, and TSN grabs them too?
Yeah, but most of the times these streaming games, like Monday Night Hockey on Prime, you cannot watch anywhere else. The Netflix NFL games, you cannot watch anywhere else. I'm pretty sure that it will be the only place to see this game tonight.
All right.
Don't quote me on that, but that's just a guess. It is the Yankees and the Giants from San Francisco. Let's just look ahead. Season-long prediction time. We're going to talk some more baseball, of course, the next few days. Jays debuting on Friday. But I think we're going to have a fall classic rematch. The powerhouse Dodgers back again. They seemingly cannot be stopped, just get better and better each year. And I think the Blue Jays have a good a chance as anybody in the American League to find their way back to the World Series.
I like it, Duke. I mean, it's hard to count out the Dodgers, obviously.
Yeah, I want anybody but the Dodgers.
Well, of course.
Sure.
Yeah. But we could say the same thing about the Yankees, but
maybe. I mean, the Mets made a lot of moves here, Duke. The Mets have.
But they also lost a lot of players.
They've got enough there. The Phillies always. I mean, they got the pitching, and if Wheeler can come back and Nola can get back, the Phillies have enough power to get there. Dodgers are obviously number one favorite. So
do the Jays have what it takes to make your back there?
You know who I think is going to get there this year?
Don't say the Yankees.
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, everyone knows I'm a Yankee fan.
The Red Sox.
No, I think it's Seattle, Duke.
Seattle.
I think Seattle's pitching. Wu is going to turn into like a Cy Young, behind Skubal and Crochet. I think Wu's probably the best pitcher outside those two lefties.
Really?
Yeah, he's that good. They've got enough, with Raleigh, and if they can get a better start from Rodriguez, because he's always a slow starter. They have the bullpen. They've got enough, and with a full season of Naylor there, they've got enough there that they can get out of the American League.
Heard it here first.
So.
Seattle. And the Rig, our buddy Rig, he texted and he said the game. Oh, and it is actually on Sportsnet. So color me wrong. Far from the first time, even further from the last. So you can, in fact, still watch the game on your Sportsnet or Sportsnet Plus subscriptions. Finally, today, this Wednesday falls right in the middle of National Cleaning Week. Spring cleaning doesn't really feel like it outside, of course, with the snow, but maybe you're shaking out some rugs, getting things freshly cleaned up to start the summer afresh. The worst room in the house, in the home to clean. I think this is very unpopular, but I'm going with the bedroom over, say, maybe the bathroom as the more popular choice.
So, Duke, you're saying if Laddie were here, he would say, Duke, you're talking about a room that gets no use in your house.
Wrong. I'm sleeping it every night.
I got to be out on this one, man. I think the bathroom is way worse than the bedroom. I don't know. Like, explain that to me.
All right, hear me out.
Let's hear it.
Hear me out. The bathroom, you can essentially just like throw water everywhere.
Okay.
The sink, the tub, the shower. It's
what the toilet.
Well, you scrub the toilet. Who cares?
Well,
you drop some cleaning product in there, and I don't know. I find if you have that bad of a day or a morning and you just take care of it immediately after the fact, then it's a little bit easier than having to circle back once a year to clean your crapper.
Once a year.
Wow. That's the Kevin Karius. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't do that.
I think you got to talk to Eddie Steele here.
Yeah, Eddie would be the authority on this specific topic as our in-house dump expert. But and like in the bedroom, because the bed is in the way. So if you're trying to like vacuum underneath and clean up and get like a thorough clean on the baseboards and the walls, the nightstands, the dressers, there's so much furniture in what is usually a smaller space than, say, the living room or something. I think it's just more inconvenient as opposed to in the bathroom. You mop, you scrub the surfaces, you give it all a nice hose down. Essentially, go in there with a pressure washer and you're good.
Oh, wait, Duke.
Well, now that I know you only clean your bathroom once a year, I understand.
No, that's not what I said. I said if you're only doing it once a year, which I do not.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Who's your house cleaner, Duke?
You're looking at him. And my Roomba. My actually, it's not a Roomba, it's a shark. It's a shark iRobot that I named Bryce.
Bryce.
That's my buddy's
name. So that's
name.
like that this thing.
Yeah, like you can name it, like, because you have an app that you control it with. So you name it, and I'll get notifications saying Bryce is stuck or
really?
Bryce is high centered. And it's nothing but a shot at my buddy saying that he's my mate, essentially.
And the old Piglet bought a brand new one of those for our place.
Yeah.
And but it's a pretty high end thing, I think.
Is it one that mops too?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'd
fix the cleaning.
I'm not quite in
out.
that tax bracket, so I can't afford that one.
Tax bracket.
I don't have that Kevin Karius generational.
BC
money.
Oilers says, Duke, what the hell are you doing in that bedroom? Nothing.
Living. Okay.
Come on,
Sleeping.
Duke.
First of all, my personal life is of no one's concern.
Here we go.
I can't exist. I just can't exist no matter what I do.
Are we going to have Laddie on to talk about this tomorrow too?
I'd have to. I
Might
need to
have
drop Laddie a message. Maybe he'll get back to me very late tonight again.
MTR says, take a black light in there. It'll be a horror show. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so you're a bathroom too, Schlammer, but you're not doing any cleaning at the house, are you?
Oh no, I'm pretty lucky. Like
Yeah.
my wife cleans the bathrooms,
Same
does the
here.
laundry. Yeah, I'm very appreciative.
But
Lord,
what's
that's
so
the
bad
best.
about cleaning the bathroom?
It's disgusting.
Oh,
As opposed to anything else? Everything's disgusting.
Yeah, like I don't like cleaning. Honestly, like kind of grosses me out. Like, I don't like cleaning the bath. I don't like cleaning the dishes. I do all the cooking in the house.
Yeah.
Like, I have no problem doing all the cooking. I just don't like cleaning.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I do a little bit. But
No, you don't.
I do actually do.
Like a little help, like throw sweep a vacuum through quick once in a while. Make it look like you're doing something.
Yeah, Duke's buying Comet by the case for his bathroom and then a pressure washer and everything.
Yeah.
Man.
It cleans up in no time at all. Just quick little hose down.
Good stuff, Duke. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts at 10:20. Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, author of a new book called Black Aces as well. Lots to talk about with the Sens. Really on a good run right now. Carter Yakimchuk, we just mentioned him a little bit earlier. He gets his first goal and an assist, I guess, last night too.
1-1.
So big. What a debut, man. Parents were in the stands, mom's crying, the whole bit. So
Awesome.
that's straight ahead. Before that time now, for a Sports 1440 update, brought to you by All-Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That's All-Star Construction. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Just two games in the NHL tonight. The Bruins head to Buffalo to take on the Sabres, and Toronto hosting the Rangers from Scotiabank Arena. In the PWHL para games, Minnesota taking on Montreal, while New York is in Seattle. Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs continuing again tonight. Whitecourt in Fort McMurray. Drumheller up against Camrose. Grand Prairie look to finish off the sweep against Lloydminster, and Canmore taking on the Canucks in Calgary. Full night of games in the association, including the nightcap, which has the Toronto Raptors in LA against the Clippers. Leading into that, Detroit hosting Atlanta, OKC in Boston, Cleveland taking on Miami, and the Houston Rockets in Minnesota. And finally, it's opening day in the MLB with one game on the schedule tonight. The New York Yankees out on the West Coast taking on the San Francisco Giants. First pitch just after 6 o'clock. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by the Athletics' Julian McKenzie covering the Ottawa Senators. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Okay, new strategy. I'll just live in the freezer till October. It's spacious in here. It's spacious.
There's a better way to survive the coming AC season. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. We offer convenient financing options and fast appointments so you can enjoy your entire home, not just the freezer.
Now I can leave the frozen peas where they belong.
Book now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780-all-7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:10 in Edmonton. Quick little segment before we get to Julian McKenzie from The Athletic out in Ottawa. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. If you want to use the QR code, that's just fine, but we've also got the paper selection slips. All you have to do is go to your local lotto spot retailer. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Kevin Karius, David Schlimco with you here on a Wednesday morning. Schlemmer is powered by Cougar Paint and Collision. Our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program. Check them out at cougarcollision.com. Text at 833-401-1440. Longtime listener Michelle out in Vancouver now, moved out there. She says, I would say that the kids' room is the worst to clean. Toys, clothes, random crap.
Random food.
Yes. Not knowing what to throw and keep.
That might be the winner right there, actually.
Yeah, she
Good
says
point.
the bedrooms and the kitchens are the hardest because there's so much to take out to clean and organize.
Mm.
Like a lot of people, the fridge too, you think that's part of the kitchen,
True.
The oven, never use the automatic cleaner on the oven, Duke. Never.
No.
Right? That
is self-cleaning.
Every oven it'll say it goes up to 600 degrees or whatever, and then the self-cleaning goes to like 750 and blows up your oven, and never. It's just a total joke. Text 833-401-1440. Just noticed that the Oilers just sent out an announcement on the group chat that James Hamlin's been returned to Bakersfield. He was on an emergency recall anyway.
So I guess he won't be sliding into the lineup.
That's too bad. I've always liked James. He's been a really nice guy to talk to, and his dad's the salt of the earth. We know the story with his mom passing and scored that goal, against Tampa.
Yep, your local boy.
Yeah, and you're never going to get cheated on any shift for, the 45 seconds that he's out there. Yep. I hope that he finds his way in another organization, because I don't think there's a path for him here.
Get his foot in the door somewhere.
I think he can. He's a serviceable 13th forward, if you need a guy. So I think there's the possibility for him to. And if not, I'm sure he can play in Europe and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Dad Tim, just a salt of the earth guy, too. So the Utah Mammoth that the Oilers played last night signed the goaltender Michael Harabel to a 3-year entry level. You probably watched him play in the World Juniors. Schlimmer, the big goaltender. He's massive. He's like, what is he, 6 foot? Yeah, he's 6'6".
What team was he on?
For Czech.
Oh, okay, yeah,
so
yeah.
He's been playing college hockey at UMass.
A lot more Euros going over to play NCAA nowadays,
yeah. This is a guy that was a second-round pick in 2023. And, all indications point, with some work in the minors, that this is going to be a good goaltender moving forward.
It's exciting for them.
Yeah.
They got a lot of good things going on in Utah.
They really do.
Good club.
We talked about Dylan Gunther here yesterday.
Scores at will.
I said to, we had Matt McConnell. I said at the beginning of the year, Matt, this guy's going to score 40 someday in the NHL. Well, he's at 34 this year.
Yeah.
He could score 40 this year.
Easily.
They really, they did score that power play goal, but there was only 2 power plays. The Oilers never had a power play last night.
They didn't.
So
yeah, you know what? We hadn't seen Utah for a while. I thought they looked a lot more like fast and loose and kind of dangerous earlier on the season. We got to give the Oilers some credit for last night too. They played a good game defensively, but I did think they didn't look quite as dangerous.
Well, we were kind of comparing Utah. We always compare them to Anaheim and San Jose. A little looser run and gun, especially Anaheim.
Yeah.
And maybe it's the old Bears saying we got to tighten things up, and they get Uyghur back there. And
they're just a young team, maybe learn how to win a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good.
They have a good defense.
They got a really good decor.
I'll be honest.
Good mix of vets and young guys.
Yeah. Vamelka to me I thought he was bad on 3 goals, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Connor goal. Like, that's just a fluttering hope shot by Connor, and he's sliding way over. The 4th goal is bad on just Jack Roslovic just firing it on net off the crossbar.
Right. Yeah.
That one stunk. And I thought he was going to get the hook then. And then, to be honest, Savoy's just putting it on net, and that could have been a save just as easy as a goal. So,
yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, we got Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, covers the Ottawa Senators. And you know what? Ottawa's been doing this. Shabbat got hurt.
They were missing 5D right now.
Sanderson.
5.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What did you think of that cross-check, JT Miller?
Just the nothing play that happens 100 times a game.
Got
him in a bad spot.
You don't think he knew where he was cross-checking him?
I don't think so.
No?
Could be wrong, but
I saw some guys, because Brady and Matthew were talking about the Leafs not responding.
Oh, yeah?
When Matthews got hurt.
need, yeah.
So, Sanderson's not in the lineup, so he's probably your number 1 defenseman. But so your number 1 D-man in Shabbat takes a cross-check between the wrist where the glove ends and the elbow pad ends.
I think it's just a freak play, that one. I don't know. That's hard to compare it to the Matthews one for me.
Oh, for sure. But these guys were saying there was no response to Tkachuk's.
On Matthews or on the Shabbat one?
Well, there was no response on Shabbat.
Yeah.
But they said after they watched the Matthews, there has to be a response. The team's got to get in.
I agree. There's got to be a response on the Matthews one. The Shabbat one, sure. I don't really think so.
I'm just trying to get the Tkachuk's going. You know what, Duke? Wouldn't that be something, eh? We were listening to Karius the other day at Norris. Yeah. When we come back, Julian McKenzie from The Athletic. It's Kevin Karius, David Schlimco, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. Presented by Sports Select. We're also streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Cougar Paint and Collision, their family-first approach makes you feel like part of the clan.
We care about the shop because it's our name on the sign. And when you own a business, that is so important to remember that everyone you're dealing with is a human being and they're going through something, whether you see it or not. What will make people choose you is how they feel when they leave your shop. People need to feel important. They need to feel heard. I think that sets us apart. It's really, really important.
Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love, better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade, safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrobacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
It's Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
Welcome back to the big program, 1021 in Edmonton. IMAC chimes in on our text line, 833-401-1440. Come on, Schlemmer. I didn't play pro, but I sure knew where the gaps and soft spots were. Stop always siding with the players, especially the dirty ones. Miller is universally disliked.
I'm not going to argue with that. I just don't think that there was any maliciousness on the play.
Well, we'll see what happens here when we ask our next guest, Julian McKenzie from The Athletic. Good morning, Julian. You're with Kevin Karius and the former NHLer David Schlimco. As always,
Montreal Canadiens legend David Schlimco. I remember.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How you guys doing?
Well, Schlemmer says he might head out to Ottawa because you guys need some defensemen with so many guys on the IL here. And he can move it around, man. He can help you guys out.
He'd be a better fit for that defense than I would be, for sure. I don't know how the Sens are doing this, but the fact that they've got essentially not really five regulars, but 3 regulars and 2 guys who they called up as reinforcements injured, and then having to play 2 rookies yesterday, and they got to win. Like, what a result for those guys.
Okay.
They're doing it, man. They're doing it. Well, like, obviously, let's start with Carter Yakimchuk. What an NHL debut. What everybody have to say about him?
I gotta say, like, a lot of people in this fan base have been waiting on him to make his arrival. And this is not to say that, like, off of one game, this is this generational prospect who's going to stay with the team forever. But considering the circumstances, considering what this team is going through, considering how important that regular season game was, I think people would have been just fine if he played a couple minutes on that third pairing with Jordan Donovan and wasn't getting completely demolished by the opposing attack. For him to get a goal and an assist, what a crafty play that was between the legs. And then we all knew he had an NHL-ready shot, but for that to show itself in that game, again, considering everything going on with this team, I think a lot of people are very over the moon. I think that's above expectations for what you want. Of course, limited minutes. I think he only played like under 13. And otherwise, I think he was a pretty simple game. He got some power play time. He tried to just facilitate the offense and make passes wherever he could. Didn't try to make too many mistakes. But I think considering everything going on, that's as good as what you can get for a guy like Carter Yakimchuk at his NHL debut.
So go ahead, Schlemmer, if you want to follow up.
Yeah, it's just so who else is kind of picking up the slack and carrying the mail back there, picking up all these minutes?
I mean, it was Thomas Chabot until the other night when he got crunched in the arm and the wrist. But Tyler Clevin has been asked to play some really tough minutes, and that's been the case for him for a good chunk of this year, even when Jake Sanderson was injured for quite some time as well. Jordan Spence is also playing some minutes north of what we normally expect him to as well, and he's been able to generate some offense. Artem Zub is the best defenseman on this team left right now. He doesn't get spoken about nearly as much compared to Jake Sanderson, but he's a reliable top pairing defenseman, right shot guy. At the beginning of the year, I remember being on that trip with the Ottawa Senators going to Florida, and we got the chance to chat with John Cooper when they were in Tampa, and he called that pairing of Jake Sanderson and Artem Zub elite. He could have easily just said Jake Sanderson's elite, but he extended that to Artem Zub as well. But the fact that those three and Nicholas Montemppalo, who, it's funny, before the Olympic break, a lot of people were clamoring in Ottawa, hey, he should be playing. He's an Olympian. Be careful what you wish for. But he's also been very dependable as well. There are 4 guys on this team who otherwise you kind of look at them more in the background, but they've done their part in holding this team up as much as they could.
Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco. I wanted to just circle back with Yakimchuk for a minute here. Julian, we've seen him out here in the Western League with Calgary, and I mean, everyone knows about his offensive capabilities and abilities with a 30-goal season at junior. What was holding him back in Belleville? Was it his defensive play in the sense that they didn't feel it was ready at the NHL level yet?
Yeah, I think the biggest question, I think even when he was in Calgary too, it was, how is this defense going to translate over to the NHL level? He does have that size, and we all know about his skating, but is he able to maintain gap control? Like, how is that working when he has oncoming players coming up against him and he's trying to take away space? Is he able to do that? Is he able to be physical? One thing I had heard in chatting with some different guys from Belleville throughout this year is he able to gain enough strength so that way he'll go toe-to-toe against some NHL players who are bigger and stronger, or just as strong potentially, and is he able to rub those guys out too? Like, I think there were some elements of the defensive side that needed to be worked on. I'm not prepared to say if they're completely NHL ready or if they're perfect, but I do know that he has been working with guys for quite some time, whether during his time in Calgary or in his time in Belleville, whether it's the coaching staff or worked with the development coach, Sam Gagne, who I know people in Edmonton remember very fondly on that side of the puck. But I think also as well, there's some growing pains with his play too. He's playing top pairing minutes. If he's not top pairing, he's playing second pair, and he's playing in all different situations. And he's definitely getting moments where he's on the ice in the final moments. And that's a Belleville team he's on that's likely not going to make the playoffs. So there's a lot of games where the net's wide open behind him, and he's trying to see if he can come back and tie a game. And those empty net goals go in, and that's a reason why his plus minus is where it's at. Again, it's not promising, but I do think there are some growing pains with Carter Yakimchuk, and it's going to take a little bit more time for him to develop. I still just want to not caution, but temper the flares a little bit. Like one great game for him that does not make a career. And I think with where the Sens are at right now, I think they're totally cool with him just marinating in the American League until he's ready. But maybe as early as next season, he could show that he's ready to play more dependable NHL minutes. But I think for a prospect of his caliber, you have to make sure that you're putting him in a situation where he's playing as much as he can. If he's sitting on the bench, you might as well send him to Belleville and give him those opportunities to play. You cannot afford to have a guy at his age, at his caliber, not playing. That's my philosophy with young guys.
Hard to argue with that. I mean, looking at this team as a whole, they've got points in 17 of their last 20 games, missing all these players. You think Travis Green's got a legitimate shot at the Jack Adams? I asked this to one of our earlier guests, but do you think he's got a legitimate shot at it just with all the structure he's had in place and, the way that the Sens have been able to kind of keep their game where it's at with all these injuries?
I think that case is building day by day. And what's funny is, really, if it wasn't for the fact that the goaltending was not strong, I don't know if you guys remember, but like in the first third, going into the second third of the year, the goaltending was so bad. Like the team save percentage was like some of the worst we'd seen in like the last like 30, 35 years. It was bad, but that was happening as they were suppressing shot chances. Like even from training camp, I was thinking about this yesterday. There was a scrimmage I was watching where you're seeing all the guys on the ice, and there's like an uninterrupted stream of play going on for a couple minutes, and like there are barely any shots going either way. This team knew from the beginning of the season what their identity was in terms of getting chances when they can capitalize on them in high danger areas, but also on defense, you can't get anything in the middle of the ice, and you're not getting anything down low, and they're going to work hard and bear down and limit chances against. And while I can imagine, I'm not a goalie, but I can imagine for a goalie, you have to adjust to the fact that you're playing with a defense that might only let you see 12 to 15 shots a night at most. But I think as this year has gone on, the Sens are perfecting that style. And it's something that I think is a credit to Travis Green, who I think instilled some of those defensive values from last year. And now you're seeing more and more success with them. The one thing I have against Travis Green is, what does Dan Muse in Pittsburgh have to say about the Jack Adams? What does John Cooper in Tampa Bay have to say about the Jack Adams? The team that may very well win the Atlantic Division is being coached by Lindy Ruff. That's somebody who's probably going to be on some ballots for the Jack Adams. Rick Bowness right now in Columbus was on a boat when he got that phone call from Don Waddell about coaching Columbus, and they were in the basement of the Eastern Conference. And that's a team that might be in the top 3 in the Metropolitan. Yeah. Travis Green has as good of a case as any to be considered for the Jack Adams, but there's a lot of other candidates around the league who are just as deserving.
Rick Bowness, man, that's an amazing story for sure. Julian McKenzie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's unreal, Julian. I mean, unbelievable. He gets my vote, to be honest with you. I don't know.
He just seems like the best guy, too. Like all the players seem to love him.
No one has a bad word to say about him, yeah. Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show with David Schlimco. How did Linus Ullmark get out of this place that he was at? And especially with all the crap and the garbage that was out there, because it couldn't have been a good time. And the organization rallied around him. But, I mean, he's been a big, big part of this turnaround here.
I think the organization welcoming him back with open arms when he returned from personal leave, I think it meant a lot to him. In talking to different guys around the team, they told me stories of just him showing up to the facility and they're all hugging him and they're all hanging out with him. The few times I've been on the road since he's come back, I love just kind of walking around the team and they're all playing sewer ball before the game. And Linus is right there with him. He's hanging out with everybody. He's there. One story I remember particularly when he was like just on the edge of coming back to play in Nashville. We're doing the scrum with Stephen Halliday, who just scores his first NHL goal, and the Sens ended up losing that game. They had blown a lead, and Linus Ullmark is kind of like hanging around in the hallway just near that scrum, and like Stephen Halliday finishes up, and he's about to walk away into the dressing room, but he sees Linus and he runs to him, and Linus gives him dap, and he's like, "Finally, like you finally get your first NHL goal." Just in the last couple of weeks, I've seen a goaltender who has been welcomed by his teammates and is doing everything he can to just embed himself back into his group on the ice, and it seems like he's starting to get a little bit closer to himself. A lot of people are, particularly with the Sens, like they don't need 925 save percentage and goaltending. They just need serviceable goaltending that was so much better than what they saw at the beginning of this season. And if you look at his previous games, maybe you can argue about some of the goals he's allowed in some of those games. I can totally understand that, but he's won more than he's lost. And for this Ottawa Senators team that wants to maintain its place in the playoffs, that's what you need. The goaltending, if this team still misses the playoffs, we're still ultimately going to look at the goaltending as the biggest reason why they didn't make it. But if they make the playoffs, we're going to look at what they've done in the second half of this season and their role in helping this team return back to the playoffs. And I think they deserve some credit.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it just does seem like to be a team that goes as Brady Tkachuk goes. You know, he's their leader, you know, emotionally, physically. He sure seems to be peaking around the right time. Is it just health, coming back from some nagging injuries? He sure seems to be peaking at the right time.
I think a little bit of that. I wonder how much he's heard the concerns about him not being a fighter nearly as much, which I also find really funny because I think a lot of people forget that at the beginning of the season, the Senators took steps to ensure that Brady Tkachuk wouldn't fight nearly as much. Do you guys remember when they acquired Curtis McDermott? Like Curtis McDermott, who, like, look at some of the biggest scraps of the last how many years, he's involved in them. And I get maybe he's lost more than he's won this year, but his purpose is to, as I've been told numerous times, keep the flies away. I don't know. I'm sure David's heard that term before. Maybe Kevin has too. But you keep the flies away. You fight against those enforcers, and you ensure that those guys are not taking runs at your best players. Even I was looking back at a story I wrote, and even Tim Stutzla said, like, hey, we need Brady Tkachuk out of the box. We need him on the ice. We need him to be that guy. And I think that, in combination with him obviously looking to be ready for the Olympics, having that thumb injury, which took him out for 20 games, and him making sure he doesn't get hurt. Like, I think all those different factors played a role in Brady Tkachuk having the season that he's having. But it's just funny seeing people, and I'm not saying they're completely wrong for not being happy with Brady Tkachuk and his play, but I do find it funny that this is happening for a player who, I don't have the stats in front of me, but if he's not point per game, he's near point per game. If we were talking about Brady Tkachuk having like 25 points in 50-something games, then it's like, something's wrong. Like, throw out the alarm. We're talking about a player who, fine, maybe some of those goals are empty net goals. Maybe they're late in games. Maybe they're at different points. Maybe it's a secondary assist, but Brady Tkachuk is still putting up points. He got the goal started yesterday. He redirected that shot from Tim Stutzla into the net. Like, this is a guy who's still producing almost as much as Tim Stutzla has. And I know Drake Matherson's been quiet, but when he's on too. Dylan Cousins is having a great year. At least offensively speaking, Brady Tkachuk's been performing. So I do think he deserves some credit there too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Julian, when are the Sens going to get some of these guys back on the back end, like Sanderson? And what about Chabot after that blatant target from the cross check from JT Miller last night to that soft spot on the wrist area?
Look, I could say with the JT Miller thing, I get it, not a suspendable offense, but you mean to tell me that JT Miller doesn't know that that's a soft spot? Not even just for Thomas Chabot, but for anybody? I don't know. I think NHL players, I know some guys like to say NHL players are dumb, but I think NHL players are a little bit smarter than they look on. I think JT Miller knew what he was doing with a play like that. And look, I think if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know if as many Ottawa fans would complain about that. But to answer your question, I mean, that's a pretty devastating injury for Thomas Chabot, who was being called in to be the number one guy in absence of Jake Sanderson. And even if he's not the same quality as a Jake Sanderson, that's still a really dependable player for this team on the back end. And when that core is healthy, like Thomas Chabot playing on a second pair with Nick Jensen, who's also unavailable, like that actually could be a really good pairing for this team. But just hearing from my colleague Chris Johnston from the CJ Show, which you should listen to, and from The Athletic, it seems like Jake Sanderson's pushing towards being back next week. That's obviously a guy they really need, a guy who I think is in the top 10, top 15 in terms of NHL defensemen. I wondered about his case for the Norris, but there's so many good defensemen this year. but at least if they have Jake Sanderson back, that's going to help out. But Shabbat, I don't expect back for the regular season. Nick Jensen had surgery on his meniscus. I think he's done. Lassie Thompson, who got hurt in that Shabbat game too. I don't know when we'll see him. Dennis Gilbert got called up as reinforcements for Jake Sanderson. He's hurt too. Like, David, you really need to get on an ice sheet, my man.
Well, I was just saying, like, what do they have left in the East Coast affiliate?
Oh, yeah, geez. Yeah, you might have to tap into that. But, dude, get on an ice sheet. Look, I'm pretty sure you could get an ATO or a PTO, some kind of emergency recall, maybe something. The Sens might need you for real.
Hey, Julian, how's the book tour going with Black Aces? Are you hanging out at Chapters every Saturday doing some readings or what?
Oh, man. Every week I'm looking at the bestsellers list. I'm still not there yet, but I'm hoping to get out there at some point. I've had people actually, funny enough, say I should go out to Edmonton for a book stop. When all this NHL season stuff ends, I very much would like to do some more tour stops, including Edmonton. That would be really cool to do, particularly their history with Black hockey players. Guys like George Laroque, Anson Carter, Mike Greer come to mind. Fred Brathwaite was briefly an Edmonton Oiler. Pokey Reddick, like you know the names. Sean Brown, like that would be really cool to go to be back in Alberta first off, and also to go to Edmonton and to do a reading or just do some kind of event for Black Aces. We'll try to get something going in the summer.
Well, yeah, and then obviously we'd have you in studio here. It would be really cool. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, I'd love it. That'd be a great time.
Perfect. As always, Julian, thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Enjoy the stretch run, and maybe we'll be talking to you once the playoffs begin. As always, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon.
Julian McKenzie from The Athletic covers the Ottawa Senators. And again, if you want to check his book out, it's called Black Aces. He actually sent me a copy, and I thanked him for that already. But it's about hockey's Black Trailblazers, written by Julian McKenzie, and it's just out in the last little bit. Check it out if you so choose to. I got the book right here, Schlemmer, if you want to read it.
Perfect. Check it out. When
we come back, we will get to some of your texts, 833-401-1440. And I'm going to maybe ask Schlemmer a question. Does he think someone in Montreal could win the Rocket Richard Trophy this year?
Wonder who.
Wonder who it could be. Caden Gooley, no. That's straight ahead on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, and we're presented by and brought to you by Sports Select.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Oil Country, your seat is closer than you think. Starting at just $28 a week with a deposit-free payment plan available. Securing your full, half, and quarter season seats inside Rogers Place for the 2026-27 season has never been easier. Sign up for pre-sale access at edmontonoilers.com/season seats. Experience all that Rogers Place has to offer during an Oilers game night by visiting edmontonoilers.com/season seats.
This is your moment to come on down and play for your chance to win over $300,000 in prizes. But that's not all. Buy more, save more on select major appliances. Up to $1,000 off. Save up to 40% on select mattresses and up to 25% on furniture. Plus, this Saturday, play for up to $1,000 off your purchase. Everyone who plays is a winner. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Got that feeling? The one that makes you want to roll the windows down and just drive? A puddle! That's not just spring fever, that's a sign that it's time to visit Nisku Ford. They've got the cure for your driving fever with their biggest offers of the year. Get rebates as high as $12,000 on select new models, or drive away with 0% interest. Don't just dream about the open road, own it. Find your cure for spring fever at niskuford.ca. Above expectations.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at bashawconcrete.com. Family owned, over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. bashawconcrete.com.
Irrelevant Saskatchewan history. Kevin's got it. But first, catch the exclusive interviews and stories nobody else has. The Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1044 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, David Schlimco with you. Sports 1440, the final home stretch here. We got our big fantasy baseball draft tonight, Schlemmer, here on Sports 1440. It's online, 7 bells. The Duke's done a remarkable job. We got 20 teams.
So, like, is it like a Zoom call where you guys can all kind of chirp each other during the draft? Or?
Well, Kevin was volunteering to host everyone yesterday. Kevin's like doing a call out when Connor was doing his hit on the show, and Kevin's just like, yeah, let's get somebody to sponsor. Maybe they can get some beer and pizza. Yeah. And then Connor's just like, beer and pizza for what? And then we're just like, oh, Kevin just wanted somebody to drop off beer and pizza at his house while he does this draft on his laptop.
So we're still working on being the first round. Like Levers is.
We turn that over to our crack sales team to work out the specifics if there's mutual interest on both sides.
You've never been, Schlemmer's never been in one of these, eh? Nothing like that?
Not the baseball. Yeah. I used to do like the NFL fantasy a little bit, but it's too hard to have to do it all the time. I ended up just donating my money. So
yeah, that's what Kevin does too.
No. Duke won football last year. Dupies won the ERL 4-6, SFBL 2 years ago.
Well, like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, you got to be pretty on it if you're going to be in these leagues and have some success, right?
So baseball's way harder than football.
Well, there's way more games.
Yeah, more games. And some baseball leagues are different where this is going to be one where you set your lineup for the week.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
But there's more teams and players in the sense that, we got 20 teams here. So you got both leagues. It's
so deep. The guys you're drafting at the end of the Schlemmer last year, I consider myself a pretty good, like, upper tier casual baseball fan, league wide, not just one team. And I'm like, I've never heard of these guys before. I've never heard of any of them.
Kev knows them all.
You're just drafting like Justin Turner at 42 years old just because you actually recognize the name on the sheet. He's like 8th on the Dodgers depth chart.
So last year, Duke and Conman rigged the draft so they got first pick overall.
Wrong. False.
Oh, that's not true. Okay. Anyway, you took Bobby Witt first overall.
Yeah, we went against the grain.
Against the grain first overall.
Well, the unanimous choices like Shohei or even Aaron Judge. So we're like, no, shortstop's a premium position. Give me Bobby Witt. And he had a good year.
And they're not picking again for 40 picks too. You got to think of that.
That's ballsy.
Like that, it was random. We didn't choose to pick first overall. I wouldn't want to pick first overall.
No.
It was it does
the snakes back down.
The site we use Yahoo. It just randomizes it as soon as the draft room opens. We go first. If we go first again this year, though, there is reason
people
for concern.
will be. It'd be nice to be right at 10.
Oh, just right in the middle, yeah.
Or if you could be like anywhere between 7 and 13, because you're going to get a pretty good player at 7 or 8.
Sure.
Who would, if you picked first overall, Duke, who would you take again? Would you go with Witt or would you go with Shohei?
I think I'd probably take Shohei this year.
Yeah.
But hard to say. The shortstop element of Bobby Witt is pretty tantalizing.
Is hitting Shohei better or pitching?
Hitting, because he's an everyday guy too. So
that makes sense. Sorry.
I don't know where the pitcher Shohei would go. Like again, he had 11 strikeouts last night in 4 innings. I mean, is that what it was? A 4.1 inning or 4 innings? Like the guy's just insane.
Do you do fantasy hockey?
No.
It's the only one you stay away from, eh?
Yeah.
It's the only one he doesn't know anything about.
Easy. Easy.
This guy doesn't know puck.
MTR says Kevin's a pig. Triple C is a pig. Husks is a pig. I'm dominating this league. MTR, you want to have a little side bet again? We'll do a little, he paid last time, or I paid. He never picked it up. Yeah.
I think I might enjoy a couple more of those on this Friday before I head back to Delburne for the weekend.
So maybe we should have another cold beer for thanks to MTR on Friday.
Sure.
We got how many left? 5?
Jay's opening day.
No, 4. Someone drank that 4th one.
So you brought the case of beer in and he's supposed to pick it up?
Well, it was 2 months. So I lost 8 beer from Sea Change to him. And he said, just drink it. So we'll have it on Friday. Why not? Why not, guys? To kick off the Blue Jays season. We got to get him in the fridge then. Goshy boy, that's your job on Friday morning. Not now. Don't do it now.
If you put him in there now, Walker will drink them on Thursday when he's in here for pre and post game.
Hey, Schlemmer, what do you make of the game tomorrow in Vegas with the Oilers? I mean, here, I don't recall Vegas struggling like this ever.
I was just going to say that. What is it, like the Mitch Marner effect? Getting close to playoffs here? I don't know, man. It's weird to see. They've ever since they came into the league, they've been, just a model of consistency.
They have the expansion draft that everyone's going like, how did they do this?
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously the rules were pretty in their favor, but
they raced a lot of teams in the sense.
They did. They did it
take
right.
That one guy. We don't want that, but attach a second rounder and we'll take Jonathan Marchessault.
Yeah, their side deals were unbelievable in that draft. And then you know what? Like Kelly McCrimmon, he had the balls to go out and make big deals to get guys like Eichel and Marner. So I mean, they've got the roster to do it. Probably a lot like the Oilers. They're looking to get a save here or there, but definitely not a team that I'd count out. Be an interesting game tomorrow. I'm not sure what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, the Oilers went into Vegas there a little while ago and won on home ice, like beat them on home ice. So, I mean, this is a team that just they're really struggling. They're 3-7 in their last 10, and I think it's 4-10 in their last 14.
I guess this is a team that's going to be talking about, this is a statement game for them at home, right?
I really think so.
I think the Oilers are going to get their best.
Yeah, I don't know who they might have. Got to check their injury situation too. They've had Stone is just back now, correct? Duke, is that correct? Yeah. So
it's about the time of the year when he starts to come back. Eh?
Stone is just back, so their injury situation isn't really that bad, to be honest with you. They get Wild Bill, and that's about it. So with Stone back, Carlson's still on IR. That's about it.
No, that's a team that could find something and really heat up.
I mean,
heading into playoffs too.
Again, they're just goaltending is paramount for this team right now. That's a simple thing. They pick up Rasmus Anderson's been bad for them.
He really hasn't been a good fit.
What's going on there?
I don't understand it. I thought he'd be a great fit there.
Their top pairings is McNabb and Theodore, and I think Rasmus Anderson's in their third pairing right now.
That's hard to believe, eh?
Yeah. So Stone, Eichel, Barbashev, Riley Smith, Marner, and Dorofeyev. Hurdle between Howden and Kolasar. They should be better than what they are.
It's a good sounding lineup, man.
Yeah, they should be better than what they are.
Should be a good game.
Yeah. What do you got cooking for the week here, Schlemmer?
I got the first of many dance comps coming up this weekend, and then Tuesday heading to Palm Springs for a little spring break.
So Tuesday, Palm Springs. So you're off next Wednesday.
I'll
You'll be back the following
I'll
Wednesday?
be listening.
Oh, no, you
No, I'll be on the golf
Give me
course.
a break. Give me a break. Just watching the Leafs highlights from last night with everyone coming together now, pulling together. Everyone's fighting for each other. In
Oh,
Toronto.
yeah. Yeah, bunch of good guys, eh?
Yeah, we got a real team going now. We're only about 6 months too late.
That's tough, man. I've been on some of those teams. It is. It's hard.
But they're playing harder now.
Well, I mean, they're playing harder than they were when they
Looser.
won like 10, lost like 10 in a row coming out of the break or whatever it was. I mean, it's hard to not be better than they were just a little while ago.
It's too bad they're done.
They are done. That's going to be some major changes coming in Leafland.
They are at they're 73 points. Wouldn't that be something again if the lottery, the way the balls fall, because they're going to get whatever percentage, I don't know, but if they fall into that 6 hole, then they give the pick away to Boston in the Carlo trade.
Ooh.
If they somehow get 5, then they get to keep it.
Imagine how bad that would hurt, though.
To be like, because what difference would there between 5 and 6, and you're giving away that pick?
That's tough. That'd be tough.
And then you know what? I some people think, well, hey, they could win the lottery. Then they go to 1.
Never know.
I don't see it happening.
Seen it happen here a couple times.
Boy, were they? I remember I was with Strudwick. We were going out to an event. He picked me up, and it was the day that the draft lottery, and he had to do every show in Toronto. And he was talking while he was driving, and these guys in Toronto were so mad.
Yeah.
They were so mad. God, they were mad.
But O'Neill was pretty happy when they got Matthews there. I remember that one. That
Yeah.
was like unprofessional right on the air. It was like, yes. If you wonder who they're really cheering for.
Mm-hmm. Well, Schlemmer, good stuff, big guy. Have a great week.
Thanks, bud.
Enjoy your time
You
in
too.
Palm. Gonna golf
Appreciate it.
or what?
Oh, yeah.
How many?
Probably 3. Only got 5 days, so we'll probably get 3 in.
Taking the clubs?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
You know what courses?
I know one. I got one of our coaches, his parents says they're at a private course, so they're going to get me on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking Indian Wells looks nice, and find one other one.
For sure. Great news, too, for everyone here at Sports 1440. Golfing with the G-Man is going to be returning. Coming up in April. Gary Meyer will be with us on Fridays. Thanks to Tarek and everybody down at the CCT Country Club Tour. So Gary will be coming on for the CCT, and we're going to start Masters Week.
Sweet.
So the Masters starts on the 9th of April. So Gary will be in on the 10th of April.
Very
So
cool.
Gary Meyer, and we'll run that all summer. Golfing with the G-Man.
Love it.
Back for another year. Have a great week, Schlemmer. Have
You
a good
too, man.
holiday, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks, big guy.
Sounds good, buddy.
It's our co-host for Cougar Paint and Collision, our family helping your family for over 40 years, part of the Napa Certified Auto Body Program, CougarCollision.com. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Rochep T-Bird,
Connor Halley, and the Duke of Delburne. At 12, it's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell till 2, and Jason Greger drives us home till 6 bells. Fox Sports all night long. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. You're going to try to get Laddie on from Czech or not, Duke?
We'll try.
Laddie's about another month out in Czech, and then he'll be back with us in May. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. That's Fusion with a Z. Hey, thanks everybody for listening. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great texts. Thanks for the input. We could not do it without you. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 bells. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Just 2 games in the NHL tonight. Buffalo Sabres taking on the Bruins for a 5-30 puck drop. And at the same time, Maple Leafs hosting the Rangers at Scotiabank Arena. In the PWHL, 2 games on tap with Minnesota taking on Montreal, and New York is in Seattle. In the Alberta Junior Hockey League, playoffs continue tonight across the province. Fort McMurray taking on Whitecourt. Camrose, Kodiak's at home against Drumheller. Grand Prairie look to finish off the sweep against Lloydminster. And Canmore is in Calgary to play the Canucks. Busy night in the association with a full slate of games. The Raptors are this evening's finale against the Clippers from Los Angeles. 8:30 scheduled tip-off time there. And all leading into it, the Lakers are in Indiana. Detroit hosting Atlanta. OKC taking on Boston from the Garden, and Denver playing host to the Dallas Mavericks. Opening day in the major leagues with just one game. San Francisco hosting the New York Yankees. First pitch coming just after 6 o'clock. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brendan Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall.